him to start in Abbotsford and get some reps in. Maybe extend training camp with them too, get a few more games in, and really work your way up. I think that doesn't hurt Villander at all. Whereas I'm not sure Mancini requires that. Same thing with DPD. And P.O. Joseph's situation, I think, remains murky. If he's not ready to go next week, then I think you have both DPD and Mancini on the ice. And that's what I'm watching for here tonight. DPD playing with Villander. Is that a bigger test for DPD or Villander?
I'd say it's more of a test for Villander. Like, I don't think DPD has much to prove right now.
I'm not with you. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah,
like at least not in the preseason, right? Regular season's a different ball game. If he goes through a tough stretch, maybe they start to lose a little bit of trust. But he's built up enough of a leash, enough of a trust factor that I don't think that's going to dissipate with one poor preseason performance. And so far, I mean, he's looked the part. He looks like, honestly, so far through preseason, he's kind of acted and played like an NHL vet, even though he's going into his sophomore year. This text comes in. McDavid wants to win a cup. Come play with a Vezina caliber goalie, a Norris winner, and a former Calder winner. It's a pretty intriguing argument. Of course, Pettersson, the former Calder winner.
Yeah.
But, you know, Pettersson second line center, that could work.
Yeah. If you have somebody better than him in front of him,
signing McDavid would fix the Canucks second line center problem.
yeah, exactly. Because McDavid will be no, absolutely. But I mean,
you'd be giving like $30 million to your top two centermen.
Don't care. I don't care. I don't care, Reach.
That's like whatever.
Well, I don't care. I do not care. People get so caught up in like, you paying this guy too much money. He's the best player on the planet. And it's like the Quinn Hughes thing is, can you actually pay him $18? Yes. Yeah. Whatever it takes. Just sign him. What are we doing here? Yeah. You know, what are we talking about?
Move other players out. If McDavid were to say he wants to play in Vancouver, you figure it out.
Yeah.
Much like the conversation's going to be with Quinn Hughes. As long as he's ready to sign a contract extension, the money will be there for him.
Somebody's asking us about Zach Hyman. He has not yet fully recovered from his wrist injury, so he's going to join the team at some point, but I don't think he's ready to start the season by all accounts.
Yeah, no, he's not going to start the season with the Oilers. Not sure exactly how long he's expected to be out for. Probably closer to November, but obviously the same injury that kept him out of the Stanley Cup final is what is keeping him out as it stands right now. Is this a big night for Arshdeep Bains? Sat playing with Philip Hedl and Connor Garland? Do you feel like this is your plan for a spot, at least in the opening night lineup? Kind of audition for Bains? I think he's made the roster.
Yeah, honestly, and again, I know people find the Bains situation very polarizing.
Honestly, I've never seen a fan base so out on a guy after 20 NHL games.
No, it's ridiculous.
He won the team a Calder Cup last year. It was freaking unbelievable. Any other 22-year-old, you'd be over the moon about that guy.
No, for sure. And I get it. Undrafted player. He only has one single point in those 20 games and all that. Like, I get it. But organizationally, they're very impressed with him because of his work rate and to your point, how well he played down in Abbotsford as well. And this might be his kind of last big chance, because he requires waivers. And not to say he won't get called up if he gets sent down, but it seems like they feel like he's earned a look. And not only has he earned a look perhaps to get a chance with a couple of capable line mates. So I do think this is a test for Bains to not only be on the team, but perhaps if Coots is also on the team like we talked about before, do you want to have a veteran like Kane on that line? And that opens up somebody on the left wing for Hedl and Garland. And given how Bains can forecheck well, he's a player who understands systems well. He plays to the team's identity really well. That they feel safe with him there. And if he can actually elevate his game, can he provide a little bit of a bottom line as well? And that's the hope. And, I'm rooting for him. I root for every single Canucks prospect and player. I want them all to have success, and I love to see it, especially a young player who's from these parts and had to earn his way to the National Hockey League the way he had. And it looks like he's going to get a look. And he's had a pretty good preseason. He hasn't been spectacular, but then last game was really good. And with the waiver situation, the numbers game that's there, and the need, it really looks like he's going to be on the team to start the season at least.
Yeah, and the three players, Ratu, Carlson, and Sasson, that are the three younger players, roster bubble players, as we've called them, that are sitting out tonight. As far as they are concerned in the roster battle, Sasson, it feels like a numbers game for him, even though he's performed well here in preseason. Looks like he's going to head down to Abbotsford for Ratu and Carlson, especially Ratu, I think there's just no chance. I don't think there's much left for the team to see with Ratu here in preseason. Coots is getting that extra look here tonight, but Ratu, we kind of know what to expect, and he's going to have to earn a bigger role or lose trust again come regular season with this team.
That's kind of how I see it. And honestly, we're sitting here and talking about Coots and how he plays. Coots might be playing for a spot on the team, but he may not play opening night.
Yeah. That's right.
You could very well see here they're giving Baines a look, and that may look okay, and Coots looks good, but they may start the season saying, you know what, kid, you earned it, you made the team, but you're going to watch a couple games first.
Yeah.
Ratu plays on that line with Bluger, or he plays on, in that spot, let's say where you have Coots right now, and then you can move Kane back up. And now you have a couple of checking lines down your lineup with Bluger centering one and Ratu centering one. And honestly, if I'm making a guess right now before the game, and it's going to be dependent on what happens in the game, I'd say opening night you're probably going to see Kane with Udo and Garland.
Yeah,
you'll see Ratu in the open night lineup, and that's not a slight at either guy. They might both be here, but that might be the way they go about it, because you've been mentioning this a lot too. They want to get off to a good start. And as a coach going to experiment to start the season, or go with guys that have a bit more track record to ensure they get off to a good start?
This text, Coots has got to go to junior. You need an NHL body there. He's earned this look. He's earned each day here at training camp. He's earned each game here at training camp.
Yeah.
If he plays well again tonight, they might just reward him, given they have the extra roster spot with Nils Höglander's injury.
Yeah, they do for the time being. But again, I'm not certain that's going to happen.
Yeah.
And again, if he makes the team, it doesn't mean he's going to be here all year. I think making the team is one thing, and then staying here, again, I'd be surprised if he stays here all year. I really would be.
It's going to be a tough task for him. But another question, can't Lekromaki run the left half wall on the power play?
Sure.
He could.
On the second unit.
On the second unit. I don't think he's going to do it on top unit power play. Evander Kane or Connor Garland slated for that role with the top unit. Probably Evander Kane to start the season. We'll see that here tonight. It's been the Andrew Sherritt Limited Canucks Central pregame show, the preseason finale. You'll see Sat on intermissions if you're watching on Sportsnet. Bick and I have radio intermission analysis on Sportsnet 650 and across the Sportsnet radio network. Puck drop is next between the Oilers and Canucks here at Rogers Arena in the preseason finale on the Andrew Sherritt Limited Canucks Central pregame show on the Sportsnet radio network.
Season's here, and when it comes to performance, only the best make the cut. Just like on the ice, job site power starts with precision. Meet the brand new Kubota SVL 75-3. Compact, tough, and built to win. Need pro-level turf control? Kubota zero-turn mowers bring serious speed and a flawless finish. From heavy lifts to lawn shifts, Kubota gets it done. And right now, lock in 2025 pricing before the buzzer sounds. Visit one of DLE Avenue's 7 BC locations or head to DLEAMC.com today.
Criminals are threatening people and businesses for money. This is extortion, and it's happening in BC. If you are being targeted, don't pay. Help is available. Report it to local police. If you have information, call police or stay anonymous by contacting BC Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-8477 or online at bccrimestoppers.com.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Ron is a teacher helping bright minds, but this time he needed help. Alpine Credit sent a cosmic superhero with a debt consolidation loan. She conjured a magic book, Debt Consolidation 101. Lesson 1, consolidate debt into one low monthly payment. Lesson 2, nothing. It's a short book. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved. Ho, ho, hold on. Holiday party season is sneaking up. Don't wait to book your company party. Team up with Hilton Vancouver Downtown for the ultimate holiday event. Whether it's an intimate gathering or a festive bash, they've got the perfect space for you. Indulge in fantastic dinner packages or go big with a private buyout in Hendrick's Restaurant. Plus, say goodbye to holiday planning stress. The Hilton Elves are ready to sprinkle some magic on your event, and they're just a slap shot away from Vancouver's sports venues. Visit HiltonVancouverDowntown.com.
The Canucks filled the net in Calgary on Wednesday, skating the Flames out of their own building. Now here's a huge high slot to Elias Pettersson. Right side, one-timer. He scores! Elias Pettersson wires a one-time slap shot from the right circle. Here come the Canucks 3-on-1 if they hurry. Hughes up in the rush. Sprung in by Besser, and he scores! The captain jumping up into the play. Baines down the right wing. He's got Sasson with him. Baines waits to Sasson. He scores! Sasson has his second of the night. It's the Canucks' second short-handed goal of the night. And they keep piling the pain on the Flames. It's 8-1. Tonight marks one last dress rehearsal on home ice before the start of the regular season. It's the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. NHL preseason hockey is on the air, live from Rogers Arena in Vancouver.
You're listening to Vancouver Canucks hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Brendan Batchelor and Randy Janda with you tonight from the Jim Robson Broadcast Gondola inside Rogers Arena as we get you set for the sixth and final game of the preseason for the Vancouver Canucks, hosting the Edmonton Oilers. And this one's going to be exciting tonight, Randy. These are two representative rosters of what we might see on opening night, pretty much with a couple of exceptions. But this is the closest we're going to get to a regular season game before the regular season actually starts on Thursday.
It is the final rehearsal, and it's a great level of competition that the Vancouver Canucks will be playing against. Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, the team that went to the Stanley Cup final twice over the last 2 years. And this is going to be a challenge for Vancouver, but that's exactly what you want here, Batch. You want your top guys, your top two lines rolling. You want your defensive pairs finding that chemistry that they're going to have next week. And also, I think especially in this matchup, you have to be sound defensively against Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, who Vancouver played last week. We saw what they could do against, the Vancouver Canucks. That wasn't a veteran squad for Vancouver, but what I'm going to be looking at today is, hey, of course, can you play a sound game, but can you also play well defensively against two of the best players on the planet?
The last chance for players on the bubble to make their case before roster decisions get made, most likely over the weekend ahead of the opening night rosters being set early next week. So with that in mind, who do you have your eye on tonight?
I think Arshdeep Bance has to be on top of that list right now because he's playing with Philip Hedl and Connor Garland tonight, which is an excellent spot for him. He's a player that really did well playing with Linus Karlsson and Max Sasson in that 8-1 drubbing of the Calgary Flames. But how do you do when you're playing with some skilled players up the lineup a little bit? Somebody you haven't played with before. And on top of that, Batch, I'm looking at a couple of youngsters as well. Braden Coots, the Edmonton kid, is getting another chance to play the team that he grew up cheering for. So can he continue to impress? And Lekker-Mackey as well. He's a part of that conversation. Will he crack this team? I think he's got the inside track with Niels Höglander's injury, but you got to continue to put good efforts together in a row.
Coots and Lekker-Mackey skating on the line with the babysitter tonight, Evander Kane. It's Kane and the kids going together on the quote-unquote third line for the Canucks tonight. Meanwhile, a couple of guys battling for a spot on the back end, too, in Elias Pettersson and Tom Wielander.
That's right, and Elias Pettersson probably has the inside track on that position, but once again, there's a couple of veteran defensemen that are maybe managing some injuries right now or some nicks and bruises. So when you look at P.O. Joseph, you look at Derek Forbort, is there an opportunity for both of those young men that you mentioned? And what I like about Elias Pettersson's game, Batch, is that he feels like he's NHL ready. He's a physical defenseman. He's got an NHL body, and at the same time, he is so sound in his decision making. Of course, there's going to be little mistakes here for young players, but that's expected. And Tom Wielander, I think with him, he's had an excellent job in terms of adapting to the NHL game. But tonight will be a challenge for him because this is the closest thing to a regular season game. How does he adapt when he's against the top 9 players of the Edmonton Oilers? That's something to watch tonight.
Don't forget about Victor Mancini as well. Yep. Not in the lineup tonight, but has put forth a very strong case to make this team. And ultimately, this is going to come down to whether they decide to carry 13 or 14 forwards and 7 or 8 defensemen. So, ironically, I guess, the fate of a guy like Leckermacky, the fate of a guy like Baines, as well as guys like Elias Pettersson and Tom Wielander, they're kind of all linked together, even though they play different positions.
It is, and it's not the most exciting thing to talk about, but cap management and asset management has a lot to do with this conversation. You've got a couple of players that you don't have to put on waivers. Obviously, some of the younger players, the defensemen we just talked about, Mancini, Elias Pettersson, Tom Wielander. You've also got, a player like Max Sasson that doesn't have to go through waivers. So those players, more likely than not, and Leckermacky as well, you can send down without losing some of those other players we've talked about, Linus Karlsson and Arshdeep Band. So, cap management and asset management have a lot to do with this conversation as well.
And ultimately, the roster on opening day may not be the roster even 2, 3, 4 days later. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by Angry Otter Liquor. Score big on your game day favorites at Angry Otter Liquor. First for the Oilers, it's Calvin Pickard in goal. He's 1-1-1 in 3 preseason appearances with a .913 save percentage. In front of him on defense, it's Darnell Nurse skating alongside former Canuck Troy Stetcher. The forward line has another former Canuck, Vasily Podkolzin on left wing, with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins at center ice and Andrew Mangiapane on the right wing. For the Canucks, it's Thatcher Demko making his 3rd appearance of the preseason. He's 1-1 in his 2 previous games. On the back end, it's Marcus Pettersson and Tyler Myers to start the game tonight. And interesting here in terms of the matchups, Randy, that the Nugent-Hopkins line starts for the Oilers. For the Canucks up front, it's Drew O'Connor, Teddy Bluger, and Kiefer Sherwood. An important audition for those guys tonight as well to play shutdown minutes once the regular season starts. It's the final game of the preseason, the Canucks and the Oilers, and we'll have the opening face-off when we come back on Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
There are millions of square kilometers without coverage across Canada. Introducing Rogers Satellite, a new satellite-to-mobile texting service that connects your phone in areas without cell service. Now you have the power to go farther and still get texts from mom. And now anyone on any provider can try it for free. When it comes to coverage, the sky's the limit. Sign up at rogers.com/satellite. Limitations apply. Rogers, we got you.
With a Subaru, a vehicle that's built to last comes standard. Heated front seats? Standard. High ground clearance? Standard. EyeSight Driver Assist to help spot the scooter delivery guy texting, merging, and eating all at once? Standard. Parallel parking perfectly while someone watches? Uncommon. But in a Subaru? Standard-ish. Subaru. Uncommon comes standard.
White Spot knows that one of the hardest Thanksgiving traditions to master is turkey math. Like, how big is a 15-pound turkey? How many people does a 9-kilo turkey feed? Was it 13 minutes per pound? And is this going to be enough to feed the whole family? This Thanksgiving season, skip the turkey math and bring the family to White Spot. Enjoy favorites like turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. Or pre-order and take away our heat and serve dinner for 2 and enjoy 1 free pie. Now that's math everyone could appreciate. On now at White Spot. We'll see you soon.
Let's do this. Mondays on City TV.
Rex, back to work.
This season on Hudson and Rex.
You up for it?
Rex has new cases to solve.
What do you got there?
And a new partner to solve them with.
So you're the new guy. I didn't think you'd figure it out.
And they're taking crime fighting.
I think you underestimated my partner.
To the next level.
Rex is on the job.
It's action.
She's dangerous.
Adventure.
Go get help.
And a whole lot of fun.
Nice work, partner.
Hudson and Rex. All new Mondays at 8 on City TV. Or stream it on City TV Plus.
With Nespresso, savor the morning light with a creamy latte at home or take your refreshing Nespresso iced coffee to go. Enjoy a coffee that's rich in flavor and flawlessly smooth. Hot or cold, everywhere you go. Elevate your morning ritual with a variety of carefully made coffees and elegant accessories. Available at Nespresso.ca or at a Nespresso boutique near you.
Advertising where your customers are listening is now within reach. Introducing Ad Manager, the ad buying platform designed for businesses of all sizes. No ad buying experience required. Get your message on air with professionally produced ads at no extra cost. Stand out with premium radio placement that connects your business to trusted Rogers sports and media audiences. We'll We'll help you get started with up to $500 off your next campaign. Elevate your business today. Visit grow.rogersportsandmedia.com.
Hey, this is Thatcher Demko.
CC with a one-timer. Good save by Demko down low. Rebound chance for Evander Kane. Demko stopped that too.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
You're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network. Face Off is next.
Welcome back inside Rogers Arena, where it's just about time to drop the puck on the sixth and final game of the preseason with the Vancouver Canucks hosting the Edmonton Oilers. Canucks 3-2 through 5 games, 2-0 on home ice, 1-0 inside this building. They won their game in Abbotsford as well. The Oilers, meanwhile, played more preseason games. This is their 8th game of the exhibition campaign, 4-2-1 thus far, 2-1 on the road. Canucks are wearing the home blue uniforms with the white and green trim. They'll skate from right to left in the first period. The Oilers in their road whites with blue and orange trim will go from left to right. The referees are Brandon Schrader and Chris Schlenker. Brandon Garelitz and Kyle Murchison are on the lines as Teddy Bluger at center ice goes over and gives a tap to Vasily Podkolzin, the former Canuck, playing just his second game of the preseason tonight after returning to Russia after the unexpected passing of his father. So our thoughts certainly with Vasily and his whole family. But he's back on the ice in Vancouver tonight to face the Canucks, and the game is underway. Teddy Bluger wins the draw back into the Vancouver zone to our right. Marcus Pettersson tried to pass, tipped off a stick. Far boards for Tyler Myers, got it ahead to Bluger, who tipped it into the Oilers zone, and Troy Stetcher's back to the puck. Stetcher cleared near point, held in by Bluger. Left wing side, took a long shot. It was deflected in front and went wide past the glove side of Calvin Pickard. Marcus Pettersson back to his own line, batted it up the boards. Podkolzin takes it down as Mangiapane knocked Myers down away from the puck. Myers back to his feet, battling with Podkolzin, trying to clear the zone. And the Canucks get it to the line and just out. Good poke check by Marcus Pettersson to knock it away from Andrew Mangiapane. Darnell Nurse with it in his own zone, ahead for Connor McDavid onto the ice. McDavid leaves for Draisaitl with speed right wing. Into the Vancouver zone, stops up top of the circle, try to centering pass, blocked by Marcus Pettersson, comes back to Evan Bouchard, who tried a shot. Elias Pettersson was there to block it, and he'll feed it to center for Brock Besser. Besser, left wing for Jake DeBrusk, in across the Oiler line, dumps it behind the Edmonton net. Elias Pettersson in on the forecheck, tried to lay a reverse hit on Matthias Ekholm, knocked the stick out of his hands, and got the puck free to Besser, left wing. He tried to pass back to the line for Quinn Hughes, that was tipped back into the Canucks zone by Leon Draisaitl.
And Ekholm didn't like that very much as well, because he lost the stick, and then also the puck wasn't near Pettersson as he tried to land that reverse hit.
Arshdeep Bains in on the forecheck, left corner in the Oilers zone. Philip Hedl in support as they try to dig it loose. It rolls behind the net. Brett Kulak, the former Vancouver Giant, with it, sends ahead for McDavid, and then for Draisaitl, the Oilers trying to break out to center. Draisaitl with a rink-wide pass in the neutral zone for Ty Emberson on the right wing. He'll dump it in. Demko out of the net, drops to Hronek below the goal line, and he'll feed ahead for the captain, Quinn Hughes. Hughes, left wing for Hedl. Into the Oilers zone, throws a puck to the back door. Garland was streaking to the net, but the pass was out of his reach, and Adam Henrique lifts it back to center ice. Elias Pettersson, after it in his own zone, chased down on the inboards by Noah Philp, who knocked him down in the near corner. Pettersson battles through, gets it loose to Philip Hedl, and then to center for Jonathan Lekermacki, who gains the red line and dumps it in. The Kane and the Kids line onto the ice. Evander Kane, Braden Coots, and Jonathan Lekermacki for their first shift of the night. As Darnell Nurse tries a pass to center, batted down by Lekermacki. Nurse throws it down the ice. It deflected off his stick, so there's no icing, and Marcus Pettersson will take it deep in his own zone. Just over 2 minutes gone, first period. No score, the Canucks and the Oilers, as Kane tips it into the Edmonton end. Darnell Nurse back to it, pressured by Braden Coots on the forecheck, got it free to Tomashik, and he'll send to center for Isaac Howard. Howard, left wing, across the Vancouver line, try to backhand centering. Feed rolls to the near corner for Kasperi Kapanen. Back to the point for Evan Bouchard. Cycles behind the net for David Tomashik. Out the left wing side. Pinned to the boards by Lekermacki, who knocked him down in a battle in the corner. Tomashik regains his footing, gets it free to Ekholm, top of the left circle. Matthias Ekholm retreats to the line, down the boards for Tomashik. Nice centering feed for Kapanen. Made a move around Coots into the slot, but lost the puck. Evander Kane was there to help out. Canucks get it to the line, but not out, and now Coots blocks a shot off the stick of Tomashik. Canucks still can't get it out of the zone. Here's Howard, left circle with a tight angle wrister right on. Stopped and held by Thatcher Demko for the whistle. 3:08 into the first period. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers tonight in Vancouver.
And the Kane and the kids line will take that whistle as they were on the ice for over a minute there. I think a good start there. A couple of moments where Lekkerimäki was engaged in battles. He took down Howard. It was a strong play, but when you have an opportunity to get the puck out of the zone, there's not much time and space, especially in the final preseason game of the season. This is going to be something that the young players, especially Lekkerimäki and Coots, are going to have to get used to this timing. It is a little quicker right now.
Canucks control off the face-off in the defensive zone. Quinn Hughes near corner, flips it to center for Kiefer Sherwood, tipped it ahead into the Edmonton end. And Teddy Bluger pursues Brett Kulak on the forecheck. Pickard out of the goal, cleared it near corner. Emberson couldn't play it up the boards. He was chased down by Drew O'Connor. And now we'll take it behind his own net. Ty Emberson. Emberson far side for Kulak. Ahead for Podkolzin. Now to center for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to the Vancouver line. Nugent-Hopkins try to rink by pass left winger. Was behind Mangiapane. O'Connor lifts it to center for Sherwood, who skates right wing to the red line and dumps it in. So the Canucks can get a partial change. Emberson again on the breakout from below his own goal line as DeBrusk, Pettersson, and Besser jump over the boards to oppose the McDavid, Draisaitl, and Trent Frederick line. Brett Kulak passes to center, tipped off a stick, comes to Tyler Myers, and he'll sweep it left wing to the red line for Brock Besser. Chipped it past Emberson into the Oilers zone. Elias Pettersson onto it left corner. Pushed to the boards by McDavid. Came behind the net for Jake DeBrusk. Try to feed back to the point. Intended for Tyler Myers, broken up by Draisaitl. He got it back to center, and Marcus Pettersson dumps it back into the Oilers zone. Brock Besser on the forecheck, steals a puck from Darnell Nurse for Elias Pettersson, right circle. Back to the line for Tyler Myers. Heavy drive right on. Is stopped and held by Calvin Pickard, with Jake DeBrusk parked at the top of the crease looking for the loose change.
And Adam Foote going with the Pettersson line head-to-head against McDavid. There's two schools of thought here. You go with the defensive stopper, maybe Teddy Bluger, rather than fighting fire with fire. And essentially what Foote's done here is saying, I'm going with my best line, going head-to-head against McDavid, because if you are too conservative against these guys, they will just, really attack you with speed and hem you in your own zone. Here, at least with the Pettersson line, you can also try to get some offensive chances yourself, and through the first two shifts, they've done a pretty decent job.
Hedl line out for the offensive zone faceoff, and Hedl tried to sweep it to the net. Off the draw, it rolls harmlessly into the corner, and Troy Stetcher's back to it, chased down by Arshdeep Bains, a couple of local products battling for the puck. And now Matt Savoy gets it free to Darnell Nurse, left wing to center. He'll gain the red line and flip it into Canuck territory. Elias Pettersson back to it, crunched into the end boards by Noah Philp on the forecheck. Stetcher holds in right point for Philp behind the net, pinned to the wall by Tom Wielander. Adam Henrique in to help out. Connor Garland working below the goal line, got it free to Wielander. He swept it loose to Arshdeep Bains, who centers for Garland, and he'll drive left wing to center and flip it off the boards into the Oilers zone. Garland clears it behind the Edmonton net. Hedl overskated the puck. Philp after it can't clear. Knocked down by Evander Kane. Back to the line for Hronek. Now to the left point for Quinn Hughes. Hughes stick handling on the boards. Right side Hronek tried a shot, tipped off a stick and wide of the net. Hedl was screening in front. I don't think Pickard saw it, but it was well wide of the target. And now Stetcher starts the breakout for the Oilers. As Evander Kane, the former Oiler, tries to disrupt on the forecheck in the Edmonton zone. David Tomasik, right wing to center for Edmonton. Tried a bank play, gave it away to Evander Kane. He'll center for Jonathan Lekkerimäki into the Oilers zone, top of the circle. Wrist shot right on. Pickard had trouble with it, but made the save, and the Oilers clear the rebound. Hughes holds in left point, dumps it cross ice to the right corner. Matthias Ekholm back to it behind the net. Pass near side for Evan Bouchard. He'll fire a stretch pass to the Vancouver line. Out of the reach of Isaac Howard. It went in on Demko, who leaves for Hronek deep in the Vancouver zone. Then his pass through the middle, intended for Braden Coots, goes all the way down the ice. It's icing against the Canucks. 6 minutes and 11 seconds into the first period. There's no score between Vancouver and Edmonton tonight at Rogers Arena.
An active stick by Evander Kane in the neutral zone. Take the puck away from Tomasik, which leads to a Lekkerimäki shot. And you're right, Cal Pickard had trouble with that one, kind of handcuffed him. But that tells you about a couple of things. An excellent defensive play by Kane and the quick transition to Lekkerimäki, and he's not afraid to shoot that puck.
Jonathan Lekkerimäki with a goal and an assist in 3 preseason games, entering this one tonight. So his 4th appearance of the exhibition campaign, and with the help of Quinn Hughes, he clears the defensive zone after the faceoff in the Vancouver end. Here's Draisaitl at his own line, picking up speed, right wing into the Canucks zone, blew a tire in a battle with Kiefer Sherwood. And He's able to lift it off the glass to center for Drew O'Connor. Left wing into the Oilers zone, forced wide by Ekholm, trying to pass back into the slot, bouncing puck. Bluger knocks it down for Sherwood. Left circle, Myers trying to one-timer. Trent Frederick got his stick in to tip it wide of the net. As we see the Bluger line get a chance to play against McDavid. Now O'Connor's got it right circle, trying to centering pass. Bluger was going to the goal, and Bouchard just broke it up. Otherwise, that might have been a tap-in in the slot as Draisaitl skates to center and rolls it in on Demko, forcing the Vancouver goaltender to cover for a whistle. 6:53 elapsed in the opening period. It's scoreless between the Canucks and the Oilers on Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Wondering how to save on your Ozempic prescription? Now there's an Ozempic savings card. Visit ozempic.ca to get yours today. Some exclusions may apply. See ozempic.ca for details.
Why BDC for my business? The timing's right. Everything's in motion. Economy's changing. It's all about automation, AI. So I said to myself, take the plunge. Yes, I need a loan, but I also need a hand from a partner who's truly working with me, helping me no matter what comes next. Not later. Now.
Get ready for what's next. With BDC, you get financing and advice adapted to your projects. Discover how at bdc.ca/financing. BDC. Financing, advising, know-how.
Looking for more value at the pump? With a PC Financial credit card, you earn up to 7 cents per liter in PC Optimum points on all fuel at Esso and mobile stations, so you can get more points to redeem for more of the rewards you want. Apply today at pcfinancial.ca/Esso.
At Wendy's, $4 gets you more than just a burger. It gets you a Dave's Single, made with a quarter-pound of fresh, never-frozen Canadian beef. All for just $4 at participating Wendy's. Taxes extra. But hurry, this deal ends October 26th.
BC Hydro now has more heat pump offers for more home types, which means efficient year-round comfort for more homes across BC. Income-qualified customers may be eligible for a free heat pump and free installation. Learn more at bchydro.com/heat pumps.
Hi, this is Patrick Dunko, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
You're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Own your home. Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. 6:53 into the first period tonight in Vancouver. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers in the final game of the preseason for both teams. Face off of the Vancouver end to our right near circle, won by Elias Pettersson. Back to Quinn Hughes. Passes ahead to Pettersson into the Oilers zone, left wing, trying to drive the goal. He was poke checked by Kulak. That was a nice stretch pass from Hughes. We've seen the Canucks trying to stretch opposition defenses in this preseason. Canucks scored a couple of beauty goals on stretch passes against the Flames the other night on the road, and that was nearly a good chance again. Now DeBrusk breaks up a pass, and he's away down the right wing. One-on-one with Kulak into the Oilers zone, trying to shot, but Kulak got his stick in to tip it wide of the net. Ty Emberson in his own zone, right wing to center for Mangiapane, into the Canuck end. Stood up by Hughes, he dumps it to the end boards. Hronek back to it near corner, lifts it high around the glass, to the line but not out. Stetcher kept it in for Nugent Hopkins, right wing side. Stick handling away from Hughes on the end boards. He banks it back to Stetcher. Out to the left side for Nurse. Rink wide pass to the right circle, intended for Nugent Hopkins, tipped away by Hughes to the corner, where Hronek is after it and is pinned to the wall by Adam Henrique. Hronek has it caught up in his skates, near corner of the Vancouver zone. Quinn Hughes in to help out. Center for DeBrusk, who missed it. Then Nurse gets a clean snapshot away through the middle, but Demko held it out. And DeBrusk on the far side clears to center ice. Noah Philp at his own line for Edmonton. Near boards for Stetcher, flips it into the Vancouver end. Hronek back to it, fires it around the boards, all the way down, and this should be icing against the Canucks. It won't be. It was waved off, and Darnell Nurse has to go back to it below his own goal line. Nurse with a pass ahead for Stetcher. Right wing to the Vancouver line, hit hard by Elias Pettersson as he dumped it in, and Tom Wielander's back to it near corner. Threw it up the boards. Savoy sends it back around the zone, but Philip Hedl has it far side. Takes a hit from Henrique as he plays a backhand pass to center for Garland, and then for Wielander, who chopped it into Edmonton territory. Ekholm at his own line. D to Bouchard as the Oilers try to complete a change. Bouchard banks it up the far boards out of the reach of Isaac Howard, and it comes to Elias Pettersson instead. Now for Philip Hedl, left wing to center, rolls it in wide of the Oiler net. Matthias Ekholm has it behind his own goal. He'll start the breakout with a pass to the Vancouver line for Kasperi Kapanen, who dumps it in behind the Canuck net. Marcus Pettersson near corner, got it ahead to Braden Coots. Nice backhand pass to Leckermacky, and now to Senator Myers up in the rush. Here's a 2-on-1 chance. Myers with a shot off the right wing as he stepped into a slapper from the top of the circle. But Calvin Pickard saw it all the way and stopped it with his glove. 9:21 gone in the first period. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers.
And Batch, one of the things about that play is that the defensemen for the Vancouver Canucks have the green light. Whenever they're able to secure possession on that play, Leckermacky gets it on the left-hand side, and Tyler Myers identifies that his team has possession, is pushing up the right-hand side, and gets that shot off eventually. But the mentality of the Vancouver Canucks this season is play quick, take some chances, but be responsible defensively. And that paid near dividends there as Tyler Myers let a clapper go, but Cal Pickard made the easy save.
And it was the two youngsters, Coots and Leckermacky, that were key in the transition play and the zone exit when caught deep in their own end. Encouraging signs, to say the least. Tom Wielander chased back into his own zone as the Oilers try to forecheck. Matthias Ekholm got a shot away left point. Missed the net, and Bouchard holds in right side. Rims it around to Kapanen in the left wing corner. Protecting the puck from Wielander, who pins him to the boards. Kapanen still trying to protect it. Braden Coots in to help out. Dug it free, but Ekholm gets it and throws it to the net from a tough angle. It missed the goal. Bouchard right point. Middle of the ice for Kapanen. Now to Ekholm left wing. Long shot stopped by Demko. Rebound spilled in front. Elias Pettersson cleared it, but Kapanen holds in left circle. Down low for Henrique in the zone. It floated around to Bouchard, right wing hash marks. Centering pass for Kapanen. Tried to go down low to Tomashik. He couldn't settle it in the corner as the pass was in his skates, and Braden Coots gets it loose for Leckermacky, who does a good job chipping it off the boards and out of the zone to relieve the pressure. As the Kane and the Kids line was hemmed to the defensive zone, but they get it out and are able to get a wholesale change too.
And that's going to be a learning curve for this group, because that's happened a couple times early in the game. When you get that opportunity, you got to get the puck out.
Here's Teddy Bluger, left winger across the Oiler line. Leaves for Drew O'Connor. Back to Bluger near boards, rolls it to Sherwood. Nice pass to the right circle for Hronek with time. Got a shot away, and Pickard stopped it off the blocker. The rebound comes to Trent Frederick, and he'll lead the rush to center. But a centering pass for Draisaitl, who wanted to scoop it to McDavid left wing, but it's broken up, and Quinn Hughes fires it the other way. Teddy Bluger got a touch on it to tip it in and negate the icing call. Here's Stetcher from behind his own net. Headman pass right wing for Trent Frederick to the Vancouver line. Had his stick lifted by Elias Pettersson and lost the puck, and Marcus Pettersson's after it far corner. Tried a centering pass picked off by Connor McDavid. Draisaitl gets it left wing. Leon Draisaitl tried to pass across the zone, tipped out to center by Besser. Darnell Nurse at his own line feeds ahead for Connor McDavid. Delaying on the zone entry, doesn't have a clean lane. Tried to flip it left wing for Draisaitl. That was batted down by Besser. And Draisaitl skates it near boards for Mangiapane, who feeds into his own end for Ty Emberson. Good job by the Canucks of standing up the top two players on the Oilers at the offensive blue line and preventing them from gaining a clean entry into the zone.
It certainly helps when you have Marcus Pettersson and Tyler Myers out there as well. Long sticks, so they can use those active sticks to also repel those attacks.
I was going to say, with their combined wingspan, it's almost the entire width of the ice.
Yep.
Philip Hedl tips it into the Oiler end. Brett Kulak back to it. Center head for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Right wing to center for Mangiapane. Across the Vancouver line. Leaves for Nugent-Hopkins through it to the goal. It was redirected by Kulak up in the rush on the left wing as he tipped it wide, driving towards the goal. Pod Colson passes left point for Emberson. Down the far side for Mangiapane. Back to Emberson left point. Goes down the boards for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Spinning away from pressure. Nugent-Hopkins clears to the right wing corner. Mangiapane and Elias Pettersson battle for the puck there. Colson in the vicinity as well, trying to knock it loose. Nugent-Hopkins after it down low. Philip Hedl digs it free for Arshdeep Baines. Tried to play it below the goal line for Wielander. Nugent-Hopkins batted it out of midair, but then Wielander gets it free near side for Hedl. Tied up by Pod Colson. A hard checking shift here in the Vancouver zone. And Kulak gets it loose, trying to centering pass. Great play by Elias Pettersson to lay out and block it. Otherwise, Mangiapane would have been in alone down the left wing. And now the Oilers will change, and the Canucks can settle things and start their breakout and get a line change too. Here's Braden Coots, left wing for Evander Kane. Into the Oilers zone, pursuing Stetcher on the forecheck. Throws a centering pass. Nurse tipped it right back towards his own goal route. And Pickard made the save on a redirect off the hope play from Evander Kane. Philip Hronek back to it in his own zone. Pounds it off the boards to center. Just under 7 minutes left. First period, no score. The Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers. There's Isaac Howard. Tried a centering pass. Savoy going to the net. Looked like he was hooked by Evander Kane. I'm amazed there was no call there as Kane slowed him up enough that he couldn't catch up to the pass that would have sprung him in clean. And the Canucks will break out. Kane to center for Coots, who gains the red line and fires it in on Calvin Pickard.
Yeah, there's been a couple of plays. The icing that wasn't called, that was probably a penalty as well. It was a clear hook.
Now here's McDavid with speed. Right wing into the Vancouver zone. Trying to shot, but he was poke checked by Marcus Pettersson. Trent Frederick onto the puck. Drops for Draisaitl right circle. His centering pass is broken up by Tyler Myers, who gets it off the glass and out to center. Mattias Ekholm. Pressure by Drew O'Connor in the neutral zone. Gave it away to Marcus Pettersson. Fires it off the boards all the way down, and this will be icing against the Canucks with 6:07 remaining in the first. Still no score between Vancouver and Edmonton tonight at Rogers Arena.
Early in this game, the value of Marcus Pettersson can be seen. He's got an excellent stick, and he's able to really, it's impossible to shut down Connor McDavid, but are able to take away opportunities with a nice little poke here and there, and that's exactly what Marcus Pettersson's done, where it really negates the speed of Draisaitl and McDavid. If you're able to just get that stick in the way, knock the puck out of the path of the player, and they have to reset.
McDavid line out for the offensive zone faceoff. They win the draw, but Sherwood chops down McDavid. This will be a Vancouver penalty. Marcus Pettersson touches the puck, and the Oilers will get the first man advantage of the night when we return. 5:58 left in the first. No score. The Canucks and the Oilers on Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The engagement rings are out in the open at Spence.
You just pick them up.
Try them on.
Look at the price tag.
And smile. You never have to act like Oliver Twist, asking for another bowl of porridge.
Please, sir, can I see that one, please?
You will never experience a moment like that at Spence Diamonds.
You'll try on hundreds of designer prototypes.
From all the world's top designers. You choose your ring.
And then we make it for you.
You get a much better ring.
And a much better price.
Spence.
Located in Vancouver and Langley.
Welcome to Lilith Fair.
In the late 90s, a groundbreaking all-female music festival emerged, led by Canadian artist Sarah McLachlan.
Promoter said, you can't put two women on the same bill, people won't come. And it put a huge fire under my butt to prove them wrong.
Representation for women in rock music wasn't there.
And worse, you're being pitted against each other.
Lilith became a freight train.
Catch the documentary that chronicles a pivotal moment in music culture. Watch Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery, for free on CBC Gem.
Winter is right around the corner, just like your OK Tire store. Meet your local owner, where expert advice meets unbeatable deals. For a limited time, save up to $100 on select sets of 4 Toyo tires. Whether you drive a car, light truck, or van, Toyo tires are designed to perform in all conditions. Toyo tires, a higher degree of safety. Don't let winter catch you off guard. Visit Delaney's OK Tire in Langley and Aldergrove. OK Tire, service, repair, and tires.
Hey, this is Connor Garland, and you're on the home of the Canucks. Sportsnet 650.
Get your tickets for the Canucks online 50-50 draw. Go to VancouverCanucks5050.com to enter. Ticket sales close at 9:15 tonight. Must be 19 plus and located in BC at the time of purchase to play. Know your limit. Play within it. 5:58 left in the first period tonight at Rogers Arena. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers, but Edmonton's off to the power play. And the Canucks penalty kill is brought to you by Able Auctions. Closing your business? Email sales@ableauctions.ca. That's sales@ableauctions.ca. Defensive zone faceoff win for Teddy Bluger. Got the puck back to Tyler Myers. Played near corner for Connor Garland, who lifted it out to center. And the Oilers power play will have to start from inside its own zone. Evan Bouchard leaves for Connor McDavid. Right wing to center with speed into the Vancouver end. Drops to Draisaitl near boards. He'll leave back at the line for Evan Bouchard. Now to McDavid left wing. To Draisaitl right circle. Pass was tipped by a stick in the slot. Draisaitl recovers it off the boards and goes back to Bouchard at the line. Now to Draisaitl again near point. To Evan Bouchard. In the middle of the ice. Took a long wrist shot that was tipped in front by a screening David Tomashik, but Demko made the save and held on for the whistle. 1:21 left in the Kiefer Sherwood tripping minor. 5:19 left in the first period. No score between the Canucks and the Oilers.
Good job by Thatcher Demko to fight through traffic to make that save. And with the Vancouver Canucks last time out against the Calgary Flames in that 8-1 game, they scored 2 shorthanded goals, but you have to be careful against Edmonton. If you are over-aggressive, you're going to end up leaving a skilled player wide open, so you have to be kind of measured in your approach against Edmonton.
Oilers win the draw. Bouchard has it high slot. Passes bottom of the left circle for McDavid. Middle of the ice for Nugent Hopkins. Again for McDavid on the left wing. Watched by Marcus Pettersson. Connor McDavid tried a centering pass. Pettersson blocked it. Comes back to Bouchard left point. Again for McDavid. Top of the left circle. Stick handling down the boards. Watched by Marcus Pettersson. Back to Bouchard. Again for McDavid. Left wing. Passes side of the goal for Nugent Hopkins. Back to McDavid left circle. Now to the line for Bouchard. Canucks doing a good job taking the shooting lanes away from the Oilers. McDavid to Tomášek, bottom of the left circle. Back to the right wing. Bouchard couldn't settle it. He'll hold into the line by sweeping it rink wide to McDavid. Connor McDavid, left wing. Again to Bouchard. Makes a slap shot. Back to McDavid. Left boards. Threw it to the goal. Tipped in the crease by David Tomášek, but Demko was ready, sliding to his left to hold it out again, as we saw Elias Pettersson and Drew O'Connor paired together on the PK on that shift with Hronek and Marcus Pettersson on the back end, and they did a good job keeping the Oilers' top guns to the outside.
And this is a great job by Thatcher Demko to make that save, as Tomášek did have a bit of an angle on Filip Hronek just outside the blue paint, but a redirect to save as Demko's going from right to left, and he's got that glove hand ready to go to make that save.
Second power play unit of the Oilers is out onto the ice, and it'll be Teddy Blueger against Adam Henrique on the draw to the right of Thatcher Demko. Just over 30 seconds left in the Edmonton power play. Oilers control again. Here's Savoy, high slot. Right wing for Isaac Howard. Try to centering pass. Gave it away to Tyler Myers, who lifts it off the boards and out to center. Ekholm chased back into his own end by Connor Garland. Hot on his heels. Pursues him all the way behind the net. Really aggressive for a PK forecheck. Well, the Oilers keep the puck, and Henrique brings it to center for Savoy. Darting through the middle. To the left point for Isaac Howard. Back to the line for Matthias Ekholm. Funnels it to the far corner. Trent Frederick is pushed to the boards by Tyler Myers. As Kiefer Sherwood steps out of the box, the Canucks clear. Garland lays out to poke it to center. Sherwood trying to chase it down. He won't catch up to it. As he couldn't control it, it rolled in on Calvin Pickard, who cleared it the other way. And it's Adam Henrique back to center on left wing. Henrique driving into the Vancouver zone. Chips it past Tom Wielander behind the net. And Quinn Hughes controls. With 3:35 left in the first period, no score between the Canucks and the Oilers. Hughes passed to center for Lecker-Mackey. He couldn't handle it. Stetcher leaves in his own end for Darnell Nurse. Chased down by Braden Coots. It comes to Lecker-Mackey in the neutral zone, and he'll dump it back in behind the Oiler net. Stetcher with it. Leaves for Nurse on the end boards. Now to Podkolzin far wall. Pursued by Wielander, who pinched down the wall and forced Podkolzin into an icing. So the faceoff will be in Edmonton territory with 3:14 left in the first. No score between Vancouver and Edmonton. Thanks for joining us along the Sportsnet Radio Network tonight. We appreciate you spending your evening with us. Let us know where you're listening from. You can reach me at Batch Hockey. He is at Randeep Janda. Our flagship station is at Sportsnet 650. You can find those handles on Instagram, TikTok, and the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. Face-off of the Oilers, zone near circle to our left. Elias Pettersson and Noah Philp on the draw. Scrambled face-off goes the way of the Oilers. Philp got it back near corner for Stetcher, who has to battle with his former Canuck and North Dakota teammate Brock Besser. Now Nurse with an errant pass from the far corner, cleared it all the way down. Icing's waved off. Quinn Hughes back to it, threw it up the near boards. Noah Philp trying to hold in. Hughes lost his stick, kicked it up the wall for Besser. Philp keeps it alive again for Podkolzin. Right wing of the hash marks. Now to Stetcher, right point. Content to funnel it to the end boards. Andrew Mangiapane after it down low. He's battled off the puck by Filip Hronek. Noah Philp in to help out. Can't control, and now Mangiapane brings it back up the right wing boards. Makes a move around Elias Pettersson into the slot. Tried a shot that was blocked by Besser. And DeBrusk sends it ahead for Elias Pettersson, who flips it to the Oiler line so the Canucks can change. Oilers will change too, as Ty Emberson comes back to take the puck from Troy Stetcher on the breakout. Head for Leon Draisaitl. Spins in his own end and feeds ahead to Connor McDavid. Darting right wing, but away from the play, Kasperi Kapanen ran over Marcus Pettersson as they tried to create some room for McDavid. That's a textbook interference call, though. And the Canucks will get their first power play of the game with 2:12 left in the first. No score between Vancouver and Edmonton on Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
I'm standing in awe and admiration for Canada. Hello, this is Peter Mansbridge. It's a reporter's duty to be unbiased, but I'm so proud of Canadians everywhere, standing united, buying Canadian products, supporting Canadian businesses, and our very way of life. Shop as if your country depends on it. Keep your money in Canada for Canada.
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
Seeker.
Don't miss your chance to win big on Seeker right now.
Hey, this is Rick Campanelli. Win $500 in free gas and fuel up for your next road trip. All you have to do is stream your favorite radio station or podcast on Seeker for 15 minutes a day. The more you listen, the more chances you have to win.
Download the free Seeker app from the App Store or Google Play. Seeker. Seek your sounds and seek your prizes.
Hey, this is Connor Garland.
It's 4-0 Canucks with 6:41 left in the second.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
2 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the first period tonight in Vancouver. There's no score between the Canucks and the Oilers. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. Make sure to stay tuned for Canucks Central at the intermission with Bick Nazar and Dan Riccio coming up right at the end of the period. And Vancouver's off to its first power play of the game with Kasperi Kapanen in the box for interference. It's Evander Kane, Elias Pettersson, Brock Besser, Jake DeBrusk, and Quinn Hughes on the ice. And the face-off is in the Oilers zone to our left near circle. Noah Philp and Elias Pettersson on the draw. Pettersson gets it to DeBrusk. Back to the line for Hughes. Canucks can set up on the power play. Hughes with a shot right point. DeBrusk got a touch on it in the slot, but it's hit wide of the net, and Besser's got it left corner. Around to the right wing side for Elias Pettersson, hounded by a pair of Oilers. And Matthias Ekholm, who was supported by Matt Savoy, is able to sweep it back into the Vancouver end.
And Evander Kane getting an opportunity with the first unit. Connor Garland's been on the left-hand side as well. That could be something that's interchanged all year long.
Here's Jake DeBrusk across the Oiler line, leaves for Evander Kane. He'll clear it around the zone to Elias Pettersson at the right point. Pettersson on his backhand, dumped it deep in the zone. Kulak knocked it down, but it's sent out front. Besser left circle for Kane with a quick wrist shot. He spun and fired it right to the net, and Pickard stopped it off his blocker. Besser back to Hughes, top of the point. Passes right circle to Elias Pettersson. Through a seam to Besser, left wing, back to Hughes, one-timer. But Nugent Hopkins blocked it, and he'll carry it to center himself. Nugent Hopkins shorthanded to the Vancouver line. Left wing for Mangiapane. Back to Nugent Hopkins driving the net. He got a touch on it to tip it slowly on goal. And Demko smothers the puck and gets the whistle. 1:10 left in the first period. 58 seconds left in the Vancouver power play. There's no score between the Canucks and the Oilers.
An excellent opportunity for the Canucks as Jake DeBrusk worked it towards Brock Besser, and he looked like he had a shooting lane, but maybe not the best of angles. Instead, he passed it to Evander Kane, who wasn't ready for that pass. He got it on his backhand and had to do a little spinorama to get a shot on net and hit the post as well, so didn't miss by much. It looks like Pickard actually got his stick on a little bit as well.
Oilers win the draw. McDavid and Draisaitl out here killing the penalty, and McDavid plays back into the neutral zone for Draisaitl. Second power play unit for the Canucks is Hedl, Garland, Lekermacki, Coots, and Hronek. As the Oilers dump it into the Vancouver end, and Philip Hronek will set up the breakout from behind his own goal. Hronek, right wing for Garland. Across the Oiler line, centers for Coots. It was tipped away from him. Comes to Lekermacki, left circle. Trying to pass to the back door. It hopped over Hedl's stick at the right circle. And Draisaitl wins a battle with him to clear it all the way down the ice. Just over 20 seconds left in the Vancouver power play. 30 seconds left in the period. Here's Hedl to the Oiler line, driving through the middle, dumps it right corner. Garland's after it, beaten to the puck by Ekholm. Got it loose for Matt Savoy. Tried to clear it out of the zone. It went high in the air, then is swept to center by Noah Philp. Lekermacki on the left wing, dumps it back in, dying seconds of the man advantage. Hedl's after it right wing, tried to poke it to the slot. Ekholm broke it up. Coots gets it to Lekermacki, left circle. He scores! The penalty had expired, but Jonathan Lekermacki won't mind. He's got his second of the preseason, and the Canucks lead 1-0 with 9.3 seconds left in the first period.
Another goal scorer's goal by Jonathan Lekermacki, but the build-up to this play is Braden Coots picking the pocket in the middle of the ice of the Edmonton Oilers. Matthias Ekholm's in the middle of it as well. Coots with a good battle level, lays it off for Lekermacki, who's in the Ovechkin spot and just cranks it glove side. No chance for Pickard, but a good job by both youngsters. One distributing the puck and winning a puck battle, and the other to absolutely blast it by Pickard to make it 1-0 Vancouver.
Jonathan Lekermacki scores his second of the preseason at 19:50 of the first period to give the Canucks the 1-0 lead. The time of the goal is powered by Lordco Auto Parts. Shop thousands of parts, truck accessories, and tools at lordco.com. Canucks win the ensuing face-off. Marcus Pettersson in his own zone. Passes near side for Drew O'Connor to center for Kiefer Sherwood, who fires a shot high and wide of the net of Calvin Pickard as the horn sounds to bring an end to the opening 20 minutes of play. It was the kids that got the Canucks on the board late. Lekermacki with the setup from Braden Coots, and it's Vancouver 1 and Edmonton 0 after 1 tonight at Rogers Arena.
A competitive first period by the Vancouver Canucks, and I thought, maybe started off a little bit early on with the penalty against where they had to work some of that rhythm back into the game. But as that period went on, they got more and more comfortable. And you mentioned it, the kids combine yet again for another goal. An excellent play by Coots to strip the puck from the Edmonton Oilers, and then Lekermacki does the rest with an excellent shot top corner.
Vancouver 1 and Edmonton 0 through 20 minutes, and it's time for Canucks Central at the intermission with Bick Nazar and Dan Riccio.
This is Canucks Central at the intermission on the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Lekermacki on the left wing, dumps it back in, dying seconds of the man advantage. Needles after it right wing, tried to poke it to the slot. Ekholm broke it up. Coots gets it to Lekermacki, left circle. He scores! The penalty had expired, but Jonathan Lekermacki won't mind. He's got his second of the preseason, and the Canucks lead 1-0 with 9.3 seconds left in the first period.
His second goal of the preseason, this one with 9.3 seconds left. Jonathan Lekermacki, set up by Braden Coots, puts the Canucks up 1-0. Welcome to Canucks Central at the intermissions. It's brought to you by My Garage Hope, now leasing state-of-the-art storage units big enough for boats, RVs, and more. Store your toys close to home. Visit mygaragehope.com for more information. Vic Nazar, Dan Riccio here with me. Text in 650-650 your thoughts on the opening 20 minutes. And Reach, I got a feeling we're going to get a lot of texts about the kids.
Well, Jonathan Lekermacki he's getting a lot of love right now. Lots so at the Dunbar Lumber text line. Roof Daddy for Lecker. And Puffs and Coots and Lecker seem to have a lot of chemistry. They've taken over preseason. They've been the biggest story in preseason, really from start to finish. Lekermacki's really come on in the last couple of games, and that he's played extremely well. Was maybe the Canucks' most consistent forward over the entire first frame. But that shot, man, holy smokes.
That
ain't
pass.
No goalie in the NHL making that save.
That pass, right? It's an open pass, but it's doing it through contact. Let's just break down the goal here on the power play as the Canucks go up 1-0 here. That's Coots digging it out in traffic through a cluttered mess in the slot with bodies draped on him.
Yes.
Matt Savoy dealing through contact there. Yep. It's not just traditional, I'm open, I'll slide a backhand pass. I got to work through contacts here, and I got bodies leaning on me, and I'm going to lean right back. Like, these are the things we've talked about. Okay, an 18-year-old body, how's it going to fare at the NHL level? That's playing through contact and calmly setting up a perfect puck for a guy who's perfectly ready and capable of uncorking a shot like that.
He essentially wins the puck from two Oilers. And, that sort of skill, his takeaway ability, his finding pucks through traffic, whatever you want to call it, good stick, as is the old cliche. Like, you see it pop up in all three zones, right? You see it in the neutral zone. There were times they were stuck in their defensive end earlier in the period, and how do they get out of that trouble? He digs a puck out in a battle in the corner and is able to get the puck moving up the left wall and out of the zone and away from danger. That ability for Coots shows up in all three zones of the ice. This time he wins the puck in the slot, essentially, and then delivers that pass to Lekermacki, who makes no mistake.
I was going to say that line has been the best line so far, but as you mentioned, in all three zones, you can highlight something for both of those players in all three zones. Obviously, we've chatted about the goal that they connect on, but you mentioned too a play in their own end. It's just a dump in retrieval. Marcus Pettersson's going back, and he's pressured, and there's like low and slow, like you're taught. Coots shows up there, and Marcus Pettersson just slides an easy pass, and it's Coots who's now skating into Tomaszek. But it's just a quick little out to Lekkerimäki, and he hits Tyler Myers, now surging up the ice, and it's just a calm, composed play by both of them in moments of duress, but Lekkerimäki was an easy outlet, made sure he found himself in some space and hits Myers, and they're up the ice, and it's just a good timing and just good spatial awareness by those two guys.
Well, that's the aggressiveness that Adam Foote wants to play with, and it's a good read from Myers as well to be like, oh, I can skate up the right wing here. Lekkerimäki's got the puck in his own end, and I can skate up the right wing and take up that space. But I absolutely love the play Lekkerimäki makes here, because he doesn't just like immediately try to get rid of the puck like it's a hot potato. You know, he waits a beat, scans his options, understands he has time, and not only does he understand he has time, willingly draws an Oiler toward him to create the open ice for Myers to skate into, and that creates the chance. And Myers doesn't score, but he is flying down the wing, takes a 93-mile-an-hour clapper that forces Calvin Pickard into a save and gets the Canucks an offensive zone faceoff.
Lekkerimäki had a shot earlier as well in the period that kind of handcuffed Pickard as well. Lekkerimäki in that period ends up taking the two shot attempts, gets the one goal. And the other one was a nice play in the neutral zone. Kane kind of standing his ground just inside the red line. And Coots had kind of shepherded the puck carrier into that area with some back pressure. And Kane is able to just stand true, win the puck, hit Lekkerimäki, and he's coming in with speed now. And Kane makes a nice play. It's like, I can skate it, but I don't have any speed, so I'll just give it to the guy who's skating. And he's able to rip a shot and just kind of handcuffs Pickard. But that line, they've been, again, all three zones. We talked about the goal, we talked about the defensive zone, we talked on an outlet play, then in the neutral zone, creating a turnover and transition opportunities. This is the final dress rehearsal, right? This is the final chance to show that you should be here. And those two guys in particular, they're maybe the most interesting because they have the highest pedigree and byproduct have the most upside. But it's an interesting battle between the five forwards.
It is an interesting battle, and I honestly don't think Canucks management came into training camp and thought, we're going to give Braden Coots every opportunity to make this team. I think most 15th overall first-round picks, it was you're going to show up for your first camp and you're going to go back to junior. Maybe you'll get a game, maybe you'll get two, but you're going to go back to junior. But he's continued to earn everything. And for Lekkerimäki, and maybe it's a bit of my own ignorance, but coming out of the Calder Cup final, it's a long season for him. He was dealing with some injuries. He didn't quite pop the same way that Carlson or Baines did. And with the short off season, knowing he needed to get bigger and faster, I didn't expect to see Lekkerimäki and be like, this guy has to be on the team coming out of training camp. But with the Höglander injury and the way that he's playing, it's getting hard to not see Lekkerimäki as a part of the opening night lineup.
I was saying today earlier on the show, each of these guys brings something that the other one doesn't. Sassen's got a little bit more speed than the rest of them. Lekkerimäki, obviously, it's hard to look at that shot and say, oh, that shouldn't be in the lineup. Coots has got that youthful energy, just the smarts to be around the ice all over the place. Carlson's very good net front.
He's got a big body.
Yeah, and he's good along the boards. Baines has got playmaking ability, right? Everyone brings a different element, and I just wonder if the best feature on a night when you're looking at a lineup, and I know Adam Foote talked about being adaptable, whoever opponent is, you just say, okay, we need this one tonight. We need the speed, so Sassen's in. We need the shot, so Lekkerimäki is in. We need whatever the situation is. Does that determine a little bit of the fluidity of the lineup decisions here in the early going?
I think more so for Lekkerimäki, games are still a priority for him at his stage of his career. So I'd rather not see him sit in the press box really at all throughout the course of the season. And I'm sure there's going to be situations where it might happen, but for me, that's the thing with Lecker-Mackey. Like, if he's with the big club, I want him in the lineup, whereas I'm not worried if Baines or Carlson is in the press box a little bit. That's ultimately the way I view that situation. And look, Baines and Carlson and Sasson and Ratu, they've all shown well through different parts of preseason, but none of them have popped the way that Coots and Lecker-Mackey have, which makes this really difficult for the Canucks front office.
650. Rafan in Maple Ridge with a couple of texts here. Is Coots really ready to play in the NHL, you guys? He's making a case for it. And this also from Rafan. What a shot by Lek. Really reminds me of how Besser ripped it. Lek and Coots look really good together. Lotso. Does Jonathan Lecker-Mackey look a little like Swedish and Mitch Marner? That's the thing I've actually liked the most. Of course, like the shot... Yeah, it's always going to play. We kind of
Marner doesn't have that kind of a shot. Just to throw that out there.
But Lecker-Mackey's made some nice defensive plays throughout this preseason in the last two showings. On Ratu's goal in the last home game,
just gotten shouted out by Kevin Dean is today shouted out Lecker-Mackey's defensive play.
So you start making those things, it's going to be noticed. And it's going to be harder to keep you out of the lineup. As tantalizing as the shot is, right? Can you provide more than just that to get higher minutes and higher up in the lineup? Because I don't think it serves him to do the 9 minute a night on the fourth line. So far tonight, it's 5:29 so far in that first period.
I guess the one question I would have about roster construction, does it make sense to have both Lecker-Mackey and Coots on the roster? Like, does one almost cancel out the other? Because, I don't know, I guess you could play Kane, Coots, and Lecker-Mackey to start the season next week.
Yeah.
But it just feels like when things get tough or you're trailing in a game, it might be really easy to just, look over two guys on your bench. As I've seen so many head coaches do it.
Certainly.
The two youngest guys, yeah. Sit in the middle. You're not playing for a bit.
2-2 game against Calgary on home ice, right? You're going to, late second, third, we'll start shortening up the bench here.
The thing is, they've both played so well defensively, and Coots,
he doesn't look out of place.
Honestly, for an 18-year-old, he really, and I know this was the book on him, but for an 18-year-old, he plays above the puck and plays very smart hockey, very mature NHL level reads that he has so often, which I think makes that trust level a little bit easier to swallow, but still I think it might be part of the equation as far as setting the roster for Monday.
Steve-O and Sanych, 650. Cootsy clashes, Cootsy combats, Cootsy creates, Cootsy converts. Doing it all. Well, he converted for the pass.
I guess it's a good thing they didn't trade that 15th overall pick for Marco Rossi then.
Oh, brother.
He looks good, man.
I wish I had more words for it,
The thing is, I guess, look, what Coots might be doing here tonight, what you might be seeing is that he's, again, I've called it this way all week. Is he earning another day? Is he earning an extended tryout through the early part of the season? And from the Canucks perspective, are you buying yourself time for the trade market to open up and hopefully get closer to the opportunity to land a second-line center to upgrade this roster?
It's a nice start for him in this final preseason game. You can keep texting in, 650 if you've been impressed by anything. And I imagine Thomas Muller impressed as well. He's in the crowd tonight to check out the kids.
Is he cheering for the Canucks or is he cheering on his fellow compatriot Leon Draisaitl?
He's in the crowd.
Canucks can't trade for Lucas Reichel soon enough. Jeez, get it done.
Vic Nazar, Dan Riccio here. We'll be back in the second intermission. Batch and Randeep on the way in a 1-0 Canucks over the Oilers first period. Second period action on the way here on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
I decide where our company advertises. We do social media and radio. It's been proven, and I've seen it myself, customers will respond better to your digital advertising if they already know you and like you because of your radio advertising. They'll think of you first and search for you by name. You won't be just another company in a category. Include radio in your advertising plan. Radio adds the kick that makes customers want to click.
Imagine your business featured right here, reaching engaged listeners in your community. With Rogers Sports and Media's Ad Manager, you can advertise on premium radio, podcast, and digital platforms. Connect with trusted audiences who love our content. No ad buying experience needed. Our team can even produce your ad at no cost. Plus, we'll help you get started with up to $500 off your next campaign. Manage your radio, podcast, and digital advertising all in one place. Visit grow.rogersportsandmedia.com.
The engagement rings are out in the open at Spence.
You just pick them up.
Try them on.
Look at the price tag.
And smile. You never have to act like Oliver Twist, asking for another bowl of porridge.
Please, sir, can I see that one, please?
You will never experience a moment like that at Spence Diamonds.
You'll try on hundreds of designer prototypes.
From all the world's top designers. You choose your ring.
And then we make it for you.
You get a much better ring.
And a much better price.
Spence. Located in Vancouver and Langley. Alpine News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
The Prestons are a hockey family. Growing kids need food, and food needs a proper kitchen. I was sent by Alpine Credits to help with a home renovation loan. I introduced these young athletes to my superhero strength protein diet. Just consult your doctor before eating 300 eggs a day. Plenty of room in that new kitchen, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
HVAC contractors know happy customers want comfort and control. That's why professionals recommend the Honeywell Home Focus Pro thermostat, available at Andrew Sherritt Limited.
A thermostat with a big screen, smart scheduling, and network connectivity, so I can manage it from my phone?
Absolutely. With the First Alert app, you can adjust temperature, monitor water leaks, check security cameras from anywhere, even on vacation.
Get app-controlled comfort with the Honeywell Home Focus Pro thermostat, available at 32 Andrew Sherritt Limited branches across Western Canada.
Can you feel it? Yep, the new hockey season is here. Upgrade your gear this back-to-hockey season with Sports Excellence and check out their exclusive CCM lineup of products, including the 2025 Jet Speed Extra SE skates, sticks, and protective gear. Get yours now at Big League Sports Excellence, your one-stop shop in Vancouver for everything CCM. 2151 Burrard in Kitsilano, or shop online at sportsexcellence.com. Sports Excellence, here to grow your game.
White Spot knows that one of the hardest Thanksgiving traditions to master is turkey math. Like, how big is a 15-pound turkey? How many people does a 9-kilo turkey feed? Was it 13 minutes per pound? And is this going to be enough to feed the whole family? This Thanksgiving season, skip the turkey math and bring the family to White Spot. Enjoy favorites like turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. Or pre-order and take away our Heat and Serve dinner for 2 and enjoy 1 free pie. Now that's math everyone could appreciate. On now at White Spot. We'll see you soon.
This is Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey. On the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Rogers Arena. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. The Canucks lead the Oilers 1-0 after 1, and we'll go to the second period in just a moment. The lone Vancouver goal scored by Jonathan Lekermacki and set up by Braden Coots.
Absolutely. The young players doing a great job throughout that period, and there was a chance earlier on where Lekermacki got the puck from Evander Kane and wired a shot in Cal Pickard and was able to force a save, but it really handcuffed Cal Pickard. And then later on, just a good job by Braden Coots to stay with the puck, win the puck, set up his teammate, and give the Canucks a 1-0 lead.
Canucks in blue will skate from left to right in the second. The Oilers in white will go from right to left. It's Bluger and Nugent-Hopkins to contest the face-off that'll get us underway in the second period, just as they did at the beginning of the game tonight. Should mention also, Whitecaps FC midfielder and German soccer legend Thomas Muller in attendance here tonight, sitting down in the lower bowl.
The Raumdata.
It is,
for,
yes.
for all those non-soccer
Dude, I play
fans.
Football Manager. I know all about the Raumdeuter.
That was for the pleasure of the listeners.
Here's a stretch pass, though. Drew O'Connor, partial break across the Oiler line, drops to Teddy Bluger. Try to backhand centering pass broken up by Troy Stetcher, and Mangiapane goes left wing to the Vancouver line for Vasily Podkolzin. Muller reportedly here to watch the game and then wants to meet his fellow countryman Leon Draisaitl afterwards, too. So O'Connor pokes it deep into the Oilers zone after it on the forecheck, battling with Darnell Nurse behind the Edmonton net. Nugent Hopkins gets it loose. Feeds it up the boards for Trent Frederick. Drops to Troy Stetcher. Now right wing for Podkolzin. Across the Vancouver line. Poke check by Quinn Hughes. Steals the puck. Sweeps it to the wall. Controls down low. Tried to drop it to Besser. Cycle was broken up by Podkolzin, and Hughes goes behind his own net for Hronek, who couldn't handle the pass cleanly. And Frederick on the near side plays it back to the line for Matthias Ekholm. Ekholm battling with DeBrusk. Got it loose into the Oiler end. Bouchard chased deep by Brock Besser. Leaves it for Leon Draisaitl. He'll protect the puck from Jake DeBrusk and skate quickly to center on right wing. Draisaitl into the Vancouver zone. Cutting wide on Hughes behind the net. Out the left wing side on his backhand. Draisaitl to the top of the zone. Knocked down by Hughes, who went heavily into the boards in a collision with Draisaitl. Trying to get back to his feet. And he's able to do so with the puck tied up. And now Hughes does clear the zone and is able to get it out to center. And immediately peels off on a change. Here's McDavid with speed, right wing. Into the Vancouver end. Stood up by Elias Pettersson, who knocked him to the ice. Draisaitl gets it loose. Top of the point for Kulak, who couldn't take the pass on his backhand. And has to retreat into his own zone. Quinn Hughes appears to be none the worse for wear back at the Vancouver bench. Scary moment there as he fell awkwardly into the boards with Draisaitl. And now here's Philip Hedl, left wing, into the Oilers zone. Spins away from Emberson on the wall. Passes to the corner for Garland. Tried a centering feed that was broken up by Ty Emberson. He got it loose for David Tomashek, who goes left wing to the red line for Isaac Howard. Dumped it to the inboards. Took an awkward bounce behind the net right into the crease, and Demko was there to clear it with his stick to the near boards. Archie Baines with the puck. Reverses for Tom Wielander behind his own net. He'll flip a backhander high in the air out of the zone. Glove down by Emberson. No hand pass ruled by the officials as Kapanen dumps it back in. And Elias Pettersson gives it away behind the net to Tomashek, who tried to center. Pass didn't get through. Then Hedl can't clear the zone. Stetcher holds in and dumps it back to the near corner.
And the Oilers are being more aggressive with their forecheck here in the second period, not giving the Canucks time to make plays coming out of their own zone.
Here's Lecker-Mackey left wing, deep into the Oilers zone, tied up in the corner by Philp. Braden Coots into support. Troy Stetcher trying to pry it free, gets it to Darnell Nurse. And up the far boards for Matt Savoy. Center for Adam Henrique, through the middle for Noah Philp, who makes an extra move and throws Henrique offside of the Vancouver blue line. 3:12 into the second period. The Canucks lead the Oilers 1-0.
The Canucks are working especially hard when McDavid and Draisaitl are out on the ice, and Quinn Hughes, you mentioned it, took a tumble as he was going from the center of the ice to the right-hand side, chasing Leon Draisaitl, and just got underneath Leon Draisaitl. But you're trying to match stride for stride against Draisaitl and McDavid. It's not easy. It's hard work, but so far the Canucks are doing a good job.
Darnell Nurse with the puck in his own zone for the Oilers. Across to Troy Stetcher. Pass to center. Tipped in deep by Philp. And Marcus Pettersson takes it behind his own goal. Pettersson protects the puck from Savoy. Leaves for Tyler Myers. Ahead for Evander Kane. He'll flip it right wing to center into the Oilers zone. Nurse back to it is able to clear. And Myers has to stick handle out of the way of the referee at his own line before going up the right wing for Kane. Evander Kane left near boards for Jonathan Lecker-Mackey. Lost the puck in a battle with Adam Henrique. Now Myers goes left wing to center for Braden Coots. Dumps it behind the Oiler net, and Calvin Pickard's out of the crease. He'll leave far corner for Troy Stetcher. Stetcher behind his own net for Darnell Nurse as the Oilers complete a change. And Sherwood is batting at the stick of Calvin Pickard as they exchange pleasantries in the Oilers zone. Stretch pass to the Vancouver line intended for Nugent Hopkins, broken up by Drew O'Connor. Teddy Bluger plays it loose to Quinn Hughes in his own zone. Hughes, the Canuck captain, near side for Hronek. Middle of the ice for O'Connor, fed it up the right wing out of the reach of Sherwood. Ekholm has it. He fires it ahead for Andrew Mangiapane. He gave it away to Hronek in the Canucks zone. Hronek goes D-to-D to Hughes, back to Hronek on the near boards. He'll flip it high in the air to center ice, batted down by Evan Bouchard. He's poke checked by Drew O'Connor, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins controls inside his own line. Nugent-Hopkins, left wing for Mangiapane. Tried to go back to Nugent-Hopkins. Hronek broke up the pass out of midair, then couldn't clear. Mangiapane held in. It comes out front for Podkolzin going to the net. Great sprawling play by Hronek, laid down on the ice to block the passing lane for Podkolzin, who gets a shot away from the right circle, held out by Demko. And Hughes goes up the far boards, but O'Connor couldn't get it out. It's sent back into the slot. McDavid tried to thread the needle to Mangiapane, parked on the doorstep. And I think Demko got a piece of that to hold it out. Mangiapane, far side for Draisaitl. Back to the line for Evan Bouchard. He and Ekholm switch sides. Bouchard top of the point. Passes right corner for Leon Draisaitl. Forced behind the net by Hughes. Left wing for McDavid. Back to Bouchard to the line. Skating to the right circle. Evan Bouchard spins back to the point, protects the puck on his backhand. Pressure by O'Connor, but the puck stays in the zone, and Ekholm rims it around behind the goal. Comes to Draisaitl up the right wing. Protecting it from Hughes on his backhand. Hughes pushes him off the puck. It rolls out to center. Now the Oilers have to regroup. Bouchard for Draisaitl right wing. Tied up by Hughes. McDavid following up. Darts into the Vancouver zone. Cuts off the right wing. Into the slot. Had the puck roll off his stick. And lost it to Kiefer Sherwood, who clears it all the way back down. This will be icing against the Canucks on the faceoff. Will come back in the Vancouver zone. This is a tired line, too. Hronek, Hughes, and Sherwood have all been out there for more than 2 minutes, and they won't be able to change.
And this is the long change. And one thing about the Oilers, they're adding pressure. They're not giving time and space to the Canucks defensemen to make a play or skate the puck out of the zone. What they're forcing is just flip outs off the glass and out or up. And what that does is, that doesn't allow you to change. You stay in your own zone, and that's exactly why Hronek and Hughes have been out there for over 2 minutes.
Tomashik wins the draw as the Oilers control. Emberson right wing. Got it to Isaac Howard. Dumped it to the inboards. Hronek trying to battle it free for Elias Pettersson far corner. Played it loose for Jake DeBrusk. He'll center for Quinn Hughes, who skates to center. Hughes right wing to the Oiler line. Throws on the brakes. Canucks complete a partial change. Goes down the near boards for Elias Pettersson. His centering pass was blocked by Kulak. But it came to Wielander, who goes back to Elias Pettersson. Pettersson cycles to the right corner for Jake DeBrusk. Tied up by Ty Emberson in a battle. Connor Garland in to help out. Trying to knock it free. Was able to get it loose towards the blue line, but it was out of the reach of Wielander, and Isaac Howard sweeps it into the Canucks zone instead. Philip Hedl on the back check is able to clear it out to center. Brett Kulak with it, dumps it back in behind the Canuck net. Thatcher Demko's out of the crease to handle. Demko, near corner for Wielander, lifted it off the glass into neutral ice. Nurse at his own line. Is across the zone to Stetcher, trying to pass up the boards, gave it away to Elias Pettersson, who's hit by Kasperi Kapanen as he dumps it in. 7 minutes gone, second period. Canucks lead the Oilers 1-0. Jonathan Lekermacki with the lone goal of the game, his second of the preseason from Braden Coots. With just 11 seconds remaining in the first period. Here's Marcus Pettersson, deep in his own zone, fires it off the boards to center. Coots dumps it into the Oiler end. Lekermacki after it. Stetcher knocks it free, near side for Noah Philp. He skates back to center on left wing and dumps it near corner in the Vancouver end. Marcus Pettersson pushed to the inboards in a battle with Adam Henrique. Tyler Myers in to help out, trying to pry it free. Comes to Henrique. Back to Nurse, left point, long wrist shot, blocked in front by Marcus Pettersson. They'll clear it up the near boards for Braden Coots, who scampers out to center. Makes a move around Darnell Nurse, gains the Oiler line, plays it down the boards for Evander Kane. Back to Coots, left for Lekermacki, now for Kane, to the line for Tyler Myers. Middle of the ice for Quinn Hughes. Hughes to the left circle for Lekermacki. Spins off a check of Adam Henrique. To Braden Coots, left corner, trying to centering pass intended for Evander Kane, but picked off by Matt Savoy. He flips it to the line. Myers holds in right point. And the Canucks will get a change as Nurse retreats behind his own net to set up the breakout. Fast-moving second period here. Already more than 8 minutes elapsed in it. Canucks up 1-0 on the Oilers in the final game of the preseason for both teams. Jake DeBrusk leads in his own zone for Quinn Hughes, to the near boards for Philip Hronek. Back to Hughes, middle of the ice. Stick handling to center. Defers right wing for Elias Pettersson. Tried to give it back to Hughes into the Oilers zone. Pass was broken up, and Leon Draisaitl takes it behind his own net. He'll leave for Connor McDavid, trying to pick up speed. Besser got in his way to prevent him from exiting the zone. And Elias Pettersson knocks the puck down at center. Pettersson for Besser, driving through the middle into the Oiler and had the puck knocked off his stick. As Nurse lays a hit on Elias Pettersson near corner to separate him from the puck, and Leon Draisaitl leads the rush the other way. Left wing for McDavid into the Vancouver zone, trying to drop pass for Ekholm. Broken up by DeBrusk, and he clears it out of the zone. He was trying to spring Pettersson up the wing, but Ekholm got a piece of the pass, so it never got through, and the Oilers dump it back in. Tyler Myers behind his own net. Chips it around the near side. Besser steps into Ekholm on the boards, but the puck goes back deep for McDavid. His centering feed was broken up by Philip Hedl, and he sweeps it right wing to center for Besser, who gains the red line and flips it in so he can get a line change. Evan Bouchard from behind his own goal, picking up speed to center. Bouchard to the Vancouver line. Flips it to the left corner. Podkolzin's after it down low, dumps it behind them. And Nugent Hopkins gets it right wing side to Bouchard in the slot, knocked down by Baines. Canucks get it loose. They got a chance for a 4-on-2. Connor Garland right wing into the Oilers zone. Centers for Elias Pettersson up in the rush. He chipped it wide of the net and goes after it on the forecheck on the end boards. He'll play it free for Tom Wielander left point. Dumps it back below the goal line. Evan Bouchard after it. Pushed off the puck by Garland, who flipped it back to center. As the defensemen were changing, so there was no one there to hold it in the zone, and Quinn Hughes takes it back into his own end. Hughes ahead for O'Connor, to center for Bluger. Lifts it up the left wing for Garland, into the Oilers zone. Try to center and pass for Bluger. That was blocked by Kulak, but Garland takes it below the goal line and gets it to Bluger. Back to Hughes left point. Now to Hronek right side. Middle of the ice for Drew O'Connor. Darting down the near wall. Has to stick handle away from a discarded stick. Got it in front for Bluger with a shot right on. Stopped by Pickard with Garland screening at the top of the crease. And the Oiler goaltender covers up. 9:42 left in the second. It's the Canucks 1 and the Oilers nothing. And you're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The engagement rings are out in the open at Spence.
You just pick them up.
Try them on.
Look at the price tag.
And smile. You never have to act like Oliver Twist, asking for another bowl of porridge.
Please, sir, can I see that one, please?
And then wait for them to unlock the showcase. And then they start trying to sell it to you.
You will never experience a moment like that at Spence Diamonds.
You'll try on hundreds of designer prototypes.
From all the world's top designers.
And that price on the tag includes a center diamond that's exactly the size mounted in the prototype.
A diamond with no visible inclusions.
Fabulous color.
Fantastic cut.
And you get to choose the diamond yourself.
Your ring will be custom manufactured to fit your finger perfectly.
That ring has never been on anyone's finger but yours.
You choose your ring.
And then we make it for you.
You get a much better ring.
And a much better price.
Spence. Located in Vancouver and Langley.
There are millions of square kilometers without coverage across Canada. Introducing Rogers Satellite, a new satellite to mobile texting service that connects your phone in areas without cell service. Now you have the power to go farther and still get texts from mom. And now anyone on any provider can try it for free. When it comes to coverage, the sky's the limit. Sign up at rogers.com/satellite. Limitations apply. Rogers, we got you.
Hi, this is Elias Pettersson, and you're listening to the official home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
You're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Own your home. Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. 9:42 left in the second period tonight in Vancouver. The Canucks lead the Oilers 1-0 on a goal by Jonathan Lekermacki, and the Coots-Lekermacki-Kane line is out for an offensive zone faceoff in the near circle to our right. Braden Coots to take the draw opposite Noah Philp for the Oilers, and Coots wins it to Lekermacki. Back to the line for Quinn Hughes. Darting to the middle of the ice, he'll skate down the left wing. Hughes with a centering pass. It bounced off an Oilers stick near corner, and Kane leaves for Hughes. Back to Hronek. Took a wild one-timer that missed well wide of the net. And Adam Henrique clears to center, forcing Hronek to go back into his own zone, chased by Matt Savoy. Hronek after it on the end boards. Being leaned on by Savoy and Philp. Braden Coots back to help out below his own goal line. Trying to tie it up on the boards. Henrique gets it free right wing, but Coots pokes it off his stick, and the Oilers have to chase it back into their own zone.
And he is everywhere defensively. You mentioned it, down low, in the slot, protecting the danger areas.
Talk about a 200-foot game. He was in the offensive zone, winning a faceoff and trying to set up a play one moment, and back below his own goal line, helping out on a battle the next moment. Canucks forechecking in the Oilers zone. Puck rolls loose into the slot, but Brett Kulak has it for Edmonton. Ahead for Noah Philp in his own zone. Watched by Bluger, trying to center and pass. Bounced off Bluger's skate, and Drew O'Connor holds in. He'll dump it to the left corner. Teddy Bluger on the forecheck. Pins Ty Emberson to the boards. Rolls free behind the net. Kulak has his stick lifted by Sherwood, who rolls it back to the left point, but it's out of the reach of Marcus Pettersson, who takes it back into the Vancouver end. Marcus Pettersson for the Canucks, near side for Myers, and again for Pettersson. Right wing to Teddy Bluger, the Oiler line. Hand on an attempt to dump it deep into the zone, and has to battle with Trent Frederick on the boards. Leon Draisaitl back to the puck, flipped it to center. McDavid batted it down, but from the wrong side of the red line. And it's icing against Edmonton with 8:08 left in the middle frame, and the Canucks up 1-0 on the Oilers.
And when you're trying to make a team as a teenager, a young player, you expect offensive talent. You expect, a strong job by a young player who's been known to play well at the junior level. But when you see that defensive commitment from Braden Coots, when you see the ability to read the play so quickly, that's where you start to think, okay, this kid could actually make this team, because he does think the game at a higher level. And 2 plays on that last sequence kind of show you the intelligence of his game.
Chatting with assistant coach Kevin Dean about just that on the pregame show, and how impressed he's been with the two-way commitment from some of these young players, Coots and Lekermacki in particular, and how that will need to continue into the regular season in order for those guys to earn a regular shift on a nightly basis. Canucks in the Oilers zone. Elias Pettersson protecting the puck near side. Draisaitl knocks it loose for McDavid. Here he comes left wing to center. McDavid trying to centering pass. Intended for Draisaitl, broken up by Quinn Hughes. Got it to the line, not out. And Darnell Nurse's long shot from the left point missed the net. Philip Hronek clears it off the glass to center. Nurse is back to it at his own end, pursued by Jake DeBrusk. Darnell Nurse with the puck. Taking time on the breakout. McDavid streaking ahead, gets the pass, but couldn't settle it on his backhand and lost it to Quinn Hughes. Hughes in his own zone. Left wing for Archibald Baines, who was calling for the puck across the Oiler line. Baines leaves for Garland down the boards. Back to Elias Pettersson, left circle. Took a long shot right on. Pickard spilled a rebound wide of the net. Stetcher clears it to the far corner. Kapanen after it. Played it up the boards for McDavid. He got it to Isaac Howard, who chips it into the Canucks zone. And Tom Wielander goes back to it behind his own goal. Wielander, far side for Elias Pettersson. Rink wide right wing for Philip Hedl with room to skate. Hedl passes back left wing for Garland into the Oilers zone. Drops to Elias Pettersson. Right circle, Tom Wielander with a hard wrist shot. Baines might have got a tip on that, but Pickard made the save. And Archibald Baines is after it on the end boards. Tried to pass to Hedl as he was falling, broken up by Ekholm. Then it came left wing for Garland, who attempted a tough angle one-timer for the left circle. That couldn't beat Pickard. The Oilers have numbers the other way. Kapanen high slot with a one-timer, scores. Set up off the right wing by David Tomashik. And the Oilers tie the game at 1 with 6:20 left in the second.
And this is a rush goal against for the Vancouver Canucks. They had good pressure down low, but 3 men get caught down low as Archibald Baines is trying to get back into the play. But it's a 4-on-2 for the Edmonton Oilers as Tomashik makes the pass to the middle of the ice for Kasperi Kapanen, and Vancouver just can't get numbers back into the rush defense as the Oilers make this 1-1. Kasperi Kapanen going blocker side on Thatcher Demko to tie up this game.
Third goal of the preseason for Kasperi Kapanen. It comes at 13:40 of the second period to tie the game at 1. The time of the goal is powered by Lordco Auto Parts. Shop thousands of parts, truck accessories, and tools at lordco.com. Canucks back to center. Tyler Myers dumps it behind the Oiler net. Evander Kane first to it left corner, battling with Evan Bouchard. Mattias Ekholm takes it behind his own net, chased to the near boards by Kane. He'll lead for Vasily Podkolzin, and now for Bouchard in his own zone. Back to Podkolzin to center. Onto the right wing for Mangiapane. Across the Vancouver line, forced wide by Marcus Pettersson. Had the puck knocked off his stick by Lekermacki, and here's Evander Kane left wing to center. Kane into the Oilers zone, pushed off the puck by Kulak, flipped it in front of his own net for Ekholm, and he stretches it to Nugent Hopkins, who couldn't take the pass cleanly at the Vancouver line. Quinn Hughes from behind his own net slings it to center. It hopped over the stick of Kane. Kulak clears it the other way, and Philip Hronek's got it in his own zone. Hronek on the breakout. Right wing for Elias Pettersson in stride, driving into the Oilers zone. Pettersson goes wide, throws a centering pass for Besser, left circle, tipped off a stick, and the Oilers turn it back the other way, 3-on-2 if they hurry. Draisaitl on the right wing, hits the trailer. Emberson into the slot with a low backhander, stopped by Demko, rebound for McDavid, gave it away to Elias Pettersson in the slot, and at the end of a shift, he flips it into the Oilers zone. As that could have been a 3-on-2 counterattack for the Canucks, but they needed a change. And Brett Kulak is back to it for the Oilers. Head for Draisaitl, try to drop feed to the Vancouver line, broken up by Drew O'Connor. O'Connor to center. Connects right wing with Teddy Bluger, wide on the boards, took a long shot that was stopped by Pickard. There was a big rebound into the slot, but no Canucks could get to it, and Trent Fredericks out to center. And his pocket picked by O'Connor on the back check, and Myers leaves in his own zone for Marcus Pettersson. Kiefer Sherwood left wing to center. Ahead for Teddy Bluger, he'll dump it in. Sherwood first to it in the left corner, goes behind the net for Drew O'Connor. O'Connor on his backhand to Sherwood left wing boards. Back to the line, Elias Pettersson with a heavy drive. It's right on target, but it's stopped and held by Calvin Pickard. 4:22 left in the second. The Canucks and the Oilers are tied at 1 on Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The
engagement rings are out in the open at Spence.
You just pick them up.
Try them on.
Look at the price tag.
And smile. You never have to act like Oliver Twist, asking for another bowl of porridge.
Please, sir, can I see that one, please?
And then wait for them to unlock the showcase. And then they start trying to sell it to you.
You will never experience a moment like that at Spence Diamonds.
You'll try on hundreds of designer prototypes.
From all the world's top designers.
And that price on the tag includes a center diamond that's exactly the size mounted in the prototype.
A diamond with no visible inclusions.
Fabulous color.
Fantastic cut.
And you get to choose the diamond yourself.
Your ring will be custom manufactured to fit your finger perfectly.
That ring has never been on anyone's finger but yours.
You choose your ring.
And then we make it for you.
You get a much better ring.
And a much better price.
Spence. Located in Vancouver and Langley.
Canada, come on down. I'm Howie Mandel, your host for The Price is Right tonight, coming soon to City TV. And I want you in the audience. Every seat in the audience gives you a chance to be a contestant on the show. You could play, win, and walk away with fabulous prizes. Apply now for your chance to be on TV's most iconic game show, right here in Canada. Plinko, and you'll miss it. See what I did there? Apply now at thepricesrighttonight.ca for your chance to come on down.
Hey, this is Brock Besser.
He scores with 1 second left in the period.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
Get your tickets for the Canucks online 50-50 draw. Go to VancouverCanucks5050.com to enter. Ticket sales close at 9:15 tonight. Must be 19 plus and located in BC at the time of purchase to play. Know your limit. Play within it. 4:22 left in the second period tonight in Vancouver. The Canucks and the Oilers are tied at 1. Jonathan Lecker-Mackey scored for Vancouver. At the end of the first period, Kasperi Kapanen equalized for the Oilers moments ago. Canucks win a face-off in the Edmonton end. Garland left wing, try to pass into the slot for Baines. Couldn't get a one-timer through on net, and Darnell Nurse is back to it near corner, chased down by Philip Hedl. Noah Philp onto the puck, passes left wing to center for Nurse. Up in the rush, near circle with a wrist shot that was tipped high and wide off the net, off the stick of Tom Phelan. And Philip Hedl tried to leave far corner for Archibald Baines. It was broken up by Adam Henrique. Henrique cycles behind the Vancouver net for Noah Philp in the corner. Played it out front for Henrique. And then for Savoy, who tried a one-time chance. Not sure if that got through on Demko or if he made the save, but there's a penalty signaled. It's a holding call against Wielander, and the Oilers will get their second power play of the game with 3:48 left in the second period.
And this happened behind the net.
Number 5, Vancouver, has a 2-minute minor penalty for holding.
Wielander was battling with Noah Philp and just wrapped his left arm around basically the hip area of Philp, and the young defenseman loses body position and ends up taking that penalty. And a dangerous Edmonton Oilers team that's really picking up momentum here as the second period has gone on is getting an opportunity to take the lead.
The penalty kill is brought to you by Able Auctions. Closing your business? Email sales@ableauctions.ca. That's sales@ableauctions.ca. Draisaitl, Nugent Hopkins, McDavid, Tomashik, and Bouchard on the man advantage. Canuck penalty killers are Luger, Garland, Marcus Pettersson, and Tyler Myers, and the Oilers win the draw. Draisaitl's side of the net got a backhander away in tight, and Demko held it out off his pad. Now to McDavid, right wing of the hash mark, side of the goal for Draisaitl. For McDavid, top of the circle. Down low to Draisaitl on the goal line, watched by Marcus Pettersson. Goes back to Connor McDavid. He'll retreat to the line. McDavid, left circle for Bouchard, wrist shot right on, stopped by Demko, rebound for Draisaitl, he scores! Demko sprawling to his left, got a piece of it, but it ends up behind him anyway. The Oilers strike on the power play and have their first lead of the night. It's 2-1 on Leon Draisaitl's third goal of the exhibition campaign.
Leon Draisaitl's not going to miss from that angle as Evan Bouchard works his way to the left-hand side in the Canucks zone and is just able to inch slightly closer to the net as he receives a pass. And he has a shooting lane. It's a great left pad save by Thatcher Demko, but the rebound pops to the Rocket Richard winner from last season as Leon Draisaitl goes glove hand side. Demko tries his best, but can't get there, and neither can Marcus Pettersson block that shot as the Oilers take a 2-1 lead.
Edmonton 1 for 2 on the power play tonight. And the Oilers now lead it 2-1 after the goal by Draisaitl at 16:40 of the second period. The time of the goal is powered by Lordco Auto Parts. Shop thousands of parts, truck accessories, and tools at lordco.com. Canucks Back with the puck in the Oilers zone. Evan Bouchard, far corner, pushed to the wall by Jake DeBrusk. Mattias Ekholm back to it. Tried a centering pass, deflected off a stick. Tomashek knocked it down. He was hit hard by Elias Pettersson. But it's cleared to center up the near boards by Isaac Howard, and Quinn Hughes takes it back in his own end. Hughes fires it off the dasher to center under pressure from Kapanen. And Tomashek lifts it back in deep. Hronek behind his own goal for Vancouver. Will carry it to center himself. Philip Hronek, right wing to the Oiler line, dumps it behind the net. Braden Coots off the bench after it on the forecheck left corner. Jake DeBrusk is in there too. Comes loose to Brock Besser. Takes it back to the line for Tom Wielander. They'll throw it behind the net on the back end. Braden Coots after it. Pushed off the puck by Brett Kulak. But Coots sticks with him, tries to win it back. Kulak's able to protect it and then ices the puck under the pressure of the young Vancouver forward. And the Canucks have an offensive zone face-off as a result. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the second period. It's Edmonton 2 and Vancouver 1.
And Edmonton's really upped their effort here in the second period. It was I think maybe the speed and the effort of Vancouver shocked them in the opening 20 minutes. Maybe they were not expecting that, but Edmonton's responded with a heavy forecheck, a lot more pucks off the glass and out from Vancouver. They haven't been able to build speed in the neutral zone, and that's by design. The Edmonton Oilers made adjustments after the first period.
Face off to the right of Pickard in the Oilers zone. Evander Kane and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins set to contest the face-off. And Nugent-Hopkins wins it. Back to the corner for Emberson. He'll flip it high in the air to the Vancouver blue line. Slow roller, not heavy enough for icing, and Elias Pettersson is chased behind the net by Andrew Mangiapane. And then collided heavily with Podkolzin near corner, and Elias Pettersson is slow to get back to his feet behind the play and is slowly making his way to the Canuck bench. As he might have caught some contact on the chin there down low in the zone. Here's Wielander right point. D to D left side for Marcus Pettersson. His shot deflects off an Oilers stick and out of play. 1:35 left in the second period. The Oilers lead the Canucks 2-1. And you're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The engagement rings are out in the open at Spence.
You just pick them up.
Try them on.
Look at the price tag.
And smile. You never have to act like Oliver Twist, asking for another bowl of porridge.
Please, sir, can I see that one, please?
And then wait for them to unlock the showcase. And then they start trying to sell it to you.
You will never experience a moment like that at Spence Diamonds.
You'll try on hundreds of designer prototypes.
From all the world's top designers.
And that price on the tag includes a center diamond that's exactly the size mounted in the prototype.
A diamond with no visible inclusions.
Fabulous color.
Fantastic cut.
And you get to choose the diamond yourself.
Your ring will be custom manufactured to fit your finger perfectly.
That ring has never been on anyone's finger but yours.
You choose your ring.
And then we make it for you.
You get a much better ring.
And a much better price.
Spence.
Wow!
Located in Vancouver and Langley.
Welcome to Lilith Fair.
In the late 90s, a groundbreaking all-female music festival emerged, led by Canadian artist Sarah McLachlan.
Promoter said, you can't put two women on the same bill. People won't come. And it put a huge fire under my butt to prove them wrong. Representation for women in rock music wasn't there.
And worse, you're being pitted against each other. Lilith became a freight train.
Catch the documentary that chronicles a pivotal moment in music culture. Watch Lilith Fair, Building a Mystery, for free on CBC Gem.
Hey, this is Brock Besser, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
1:35 remaining in the second period tonight at Rogers Arena, where the Oilers lead the Canucks 2-1. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you. Make sure to stay tuned for Canucks Central at the intermission with Bick Nazar and Dan Riccio. We'll go to the guys for their instant analysis right at the end of the period, as Elias Pettersson, who went down heavily into the end boards just before the break, stayed on the bench throughout the commercial break. He took a hit from Podkolzin on the play and now has gone down the tunnel to the Vancouver dressing room.
He got popped right on the chin, so you always wonder, obviously, about any head contact, and hopefully there's nothing there, but that's something to watch for Elias Pettersson.
Canucks have it in the Oilers zone. Philip Hronek right point, passes middle of the ice. Elias Pettersson took a long floating shot to the net, was kicked out by Pickard. And Savoy rims it around to the near side. Adam Henrique pushed back deep into the zone by Hronek. Jake DeBrusk in the battle too, as is Troy Stetcher. Players from both teams trying to pry it loose along the near wall. loose middle of the ice for Matt Savoy for the Oilers, and he'll flip it high in the air into the Vancouver end. Hronek back to it, passes far corner for Quinn Hughes. Now for Elias Pettersson, skating to center with speed. Dumps it in on the right wing. Goes after Matthias Ekholm on the forecheck. They'll battle for it down low in the zone. DeBrusk pries it loose for Connor Garland, left corner. Garland carries back to the line. Throws it rink wide into the right corner. Tyler Myers skates onto it. Trying to go behind the Oiler net. He was poke checked by Nurse. And it rolls free near side. Garland holds in. Trying a centering pass. But it's tipped out to center. And here come the Oilers 3-on-2. McDavid for Draisaitl. Through the middle left circle. Place to the back door. What a save by Demko. He robbed Trent Frederick on a clean chance. And the Canucks nearly stretched it back the other way for Evander Kane, who was waiting behind the defense. He would have had a breakaway. But the Oilers were able to break it up. Just 7 seconds left in the period. McDavid to the Vancouver line. Right side for Frederick. Pinned to the boards by Hedl, and that'll do it for the middle frame. As Thatcher Demko pulls out a high wire act to end the second period with a remarkable stop on Trent Frederick on the odd man rush to keep this a 2-1 game, and that's where we sit through 40 minutes.
A fantastic save by Thatcher Demko. A little bit of run and gun action as the Canucks had committed offensively, and then the Oilers responded with that transition attack, and that's one thing to watch for Vancouver in the third period. Yes, you want to be aggressive, but if you overcommit, or if you get 3 guys down low like they did on that 1-1 goal, it's going to go back the other way, especially against a rush team like the Edmonton Oilers. They allowed 2 goals in this period, but that first one is the one that you watch to say, okay, if you're going to be aggressive, you got to pick your spots because you have to be committed to defense as well.
Time for Canucks Central at the intermission. Let's rejoin Bick Nazar and Dan Riccio.
This is Canucks Central at the intermission on the official home of the Canucks. Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Rolls free near side. Garland holds in. Try to centering pass, but it's tipped out to center, and here come the Oilers 3-on-2. McDavid for Draisaitl. Through the middle left circle. Place to the back door. What a save by Demko. He robbed Trent Frederick on a clean chance, and the Canucks nearly stretched it back the other way for Evander Kane, who was waiting behind the defense. He would have had a breakaway.
Lankinen holds it to 2-1 with a sliding save. Demko with the sliding save on Trent Frederick. It's preseason for me too. Bick Nazar. And
man's already given up on Thatcher Demko. Unbelievable.
Bick Nazar and Dan Riccio here on Canucks Central at the intermission after 40 minutes. 2-1 now for the Oilers atop your Vancouver Canucks. Shots are 16 apiece for the two teams, and the Oilers make good on a power play and add another marker as well, and find themselves ahead of the Vancouver Canucks. Different vibes after 40 minutes. A slower period, this second period. Not a lot. Both teams preserving themselves for game one, maybe, but when the opportunities did arise, the Oilers were sharper than the Canucks.
It felt like McDavid and Draisaitl have kept it in neutral for a lot of the night, but they started to turn it up here as the period went on. And to the Canucks' credit, they've still given themselves some opportunities, but ultimately what burned them in this period and what cost them the lead are some defensive reads in key moments where you're, to borrow a Rick Tocchet term, you're diving in, or you're getting 3 guys below the hash, and you don't love to see that in the offensive zone, and you end up getting caught with an odd man rush going back the other way. I know the Canucks want to be more aggressive, and that's fine, but you've still got to, as Adam Foote has mentioned in Penticton, you still got to make sure that you've got numbers back and be able to make safe reads, be aggressive when the time is right, and be aggressive maybe when McDavid and Draisaitl aren't on the ice.
Yeah, so let's go through that goal. The Kapanen goal gets the Oilers back on level footing in this spot here. And it's kind of a scramble play in the offensive zone.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a theme as we chat about this entire period. Hedl and Baines are low. Below the goal line. And everyone just kind of poking at a puck, just trying to knock it free for each other. And they do knock it above the goal line. And Connor Garland attacks the puck and gets a shot off. And his momentum takes him below the goal line. And the rebound bounces perfectly for Kapanen and Tomashek to go up the ice with 3 Canucks behind the line.
Yeah.
And it's just a race back the other way. And
then the Oilers commit an extra man. They get 4 going forward through the neutral zone.
And so it was just easy pickings for the Oilers up the ice. And
we got a text in at 650. Did the Oilers just do the flying V?
Yeah, I mean, they had
close enough.
They had the space to pull it off, actually. And it's a minute-long shift there for the Garland, Hedl, Baines line. And you can see, like, Hedl's trying to knock Baines forward, with the stick push as best as he could. But it's Deep, Edie, and Willander who have to play. You take those 2, I'll take the 2 on the right, and see if we can figure it out. And they isolate Kapanen for the one-timer.
Yeah, and Kapanen just kind of slows up as they break into the zone. And
Bouchard's going middle drive.
Yeah, and creates the space at the top to load up for the 1T. And Baines can't get back quick enough to break up the shot as much as he tried. But it's just those kinds of things that, in a tight hockey game, they're going to show up. And the Oilers took advantage of those moments when the Canucks were a little bit too aggressive or just kind of lost their structure a little bit off the puck. And oddly, it happened a lot when Philip Hedl was on the ice. And it happened again towards the end of the period.
There were just a lot of moments of diving in to make a play.
Yes.
And I love the ambition of, I'm fast enough to get there. 3 times, though, the puck was poked away before you could get there, and now all the space is exposed for Oilers players to flood into, whether in transition or defensive zone.
The 2-on-1 there at the end of the period. Hedl comes on to replace Pettersson.
The sliding save from Demko.
And Demko's forced into a sliding save. The only reason that 2-on-1 is essentially, one of the main reasons that 2-on-1 is essentially created is Hedl dives in at the offensive blue to try and make a play on a puck, and now you're caught. Once you don't make that play, now you're caught, and you've got to know what numbers you've got behind you, especially as the centerman. You've got an extra layer of defensive responsibility. So Hedl's going to be pushed into big minutes. And if you're not making those reads, or you're making these types of reads where you're going to dive in a lot, that's going to be a problem for this hockey team.
650 if you want to chime in with any thoughts. We'll get to those in just a minute in our Dunbar Lumber text message inbox. The second goal on the power play after a Tom Willander penalty holding, which was earned. This one, the rebound lands perfectly for Draisaitl. He's able to convert. Leon Draisaitl is going to do that. The greatest German goal scorer with the other greatest German goal scorer in the crowd, Thomas Muller, in the crowd tonight.
Leon has more goals than Thomas, though.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, you're right.
Thomas has 300.
Yep. Recently?
Yep. Scored his 300th the other night in the Canadian Championship for Vancouver. But Leon is what? Closing in on, is he closing in on 500 yet?
400. His next goal will be 400.
Yeah. I knew it was one of the milestones that he's closing in on.
So this play, they lose the face-off, the Canucks do. What's interesting here is Tyler Myers pushes out above the hash marks.
Right off the face-off.
To nobody, like he's standing next to Teddy Bluger.
Yeah.
And so neither are covering anyone in particular, and the puck comes right low. And the Oilers have a 3-on-1 in front of the net. And they don't convert.
Yeah.
But you can just see a little bit of chaos right off the start. And now suddenly everyone's kind of trying to reposition themselves. We always talk about, the power play didn't get set up. It never really looked like the PK got set up here.
And that's, thinking about the other night, actually, when Edmonton scored a power play goal and Draisaitl scored a power play goal the other night in the preseason game in Edmonton. It kind of came, 3 seconds after the penalty started? It's straight off a draw, and Nils Åman is a little slow to push out towards Draisaitl, and that's essentially what allowed him the space to get the 1T off and score. Was there an extra emphasis in the pregame plan to get to your spot off the draw, push out off the draw, and get to a spot? But in this case, nobody... Well, they all seem to get their reads wrong, and certainly Myers gets into a spot he's not helping anybody, and all of a sudden it just creates when that happens, like when one person gets out of whack, it just creates chaos everywhere.
Well, you can see in the moment, like there's a moment where Bluger is trying to protect the far post.
Yeah.
Myers is trying to get inch towards the bumper. McDavid goes high, and he gets the puck. And now Garland's in between McDavid and Bouchard, and he can't get tight to McDavid because he's got to worry about Bouchard.
Yeah.
And so McDavid just gets to do whatever he wants. And that's the last player in the NHL.
Yes.
Not even on the Oilers, not even in this game. In the entire NHL, I want with options.
Yes.
And he gets to kind of just dangle, and he almost baits Garland that comes towards him, and then he goes backhand across to Bouchard.
Backhand sauce to Bouchard against the grain.
Yeah, and now Bouchard gets to walk into space. Bluger's got a distance to cover because he's battling at the back post. The shot goes to Demko's blocker. It's knocked down and lands perfectly for Draisaitl, but you can see, like, no one's tight to anyone because of just the initial failure to get set up.
And that chaos, Bluger, when he goes out to block the Bouchard shot, it's, I don't know. Is he like in between mindset? Or it's like preseason, do I really want to block a shot kind of thing? Because it's an awkward block and he kind of gets his leg caught under him.
He kind of goes like head first.
Yeah, and he gets his leg caught under him, and he was, I don't know, I hope he's okay, but it looked like he was in a little bit of discomfort after everything happened. Demko makes the initial save, but Draisaitl, it falls to him perfectly for the goal.
And he'll convert those from time to time. Actually, 399 times.
Yeah.
One other thing we want to talk about here, a moment in the Canucks end. Vasily Podkolzin.
Yeah.
I don't know how much malicious intent there was in this, but it's kind of a lazy...
Well, it's one of those where, like, especially in a preseason game... Well, who was it? It was... a couple of years ago in the Battle of Alberta, one of these kinds of hits happened. It was Matthew Tkachuk on, was it Darnell Nurse? It was one of the Oilers defensemen back then. And he and Zach Kassian got into it, and it really reignited the Battle of Alberta at the time. It's a dangerous play. The defenseman is very vulnerable in this spot. You're wheeling around your own net in your own zone, and you're shielding off a check from behind you.
That's not Podkolzin.
That's not Podkolzin, and... you've got a blind side as you're wheeling around the net. And as that's happening, Podkolzin comes and gets a pretty good lick on DP. And a lot of guys in the league will look at that hit and say, especially defensemen, and be like, that's a dangerous hit. That's a blindside hit. Now, nobody went after Podkolzin afterwards. DPD was slow to get up. He went straight to the bench afterwards.
He did go to the room.
So he's getting an extra check. It wasn't the most thunderous hit, but again, it's one where, because it's a blindside, it's more dangerous than a true shoulder-to-shoulder check. And that's not something I like to see, especially in a preseason game where you want to see players, looking out for each other, even if they're on opposing teams.
Something we'll discuss in the postgame show, myself and Sat Shaw. You can text in and be part of the show as well, 650-650, as we jump into the inbox here, taking a look.
Vander Kane was on the ice as well, and there was no any response or anything. We'll see if anything happens in the third period, but I really didn't like the hit.
It was just a innocuous play.
Well, because the puck was going up the ice pretty quickly afterwards, so I'm not sure any Canuck really saw or noticed exactly what happened back there.
650. We take any of the comments, heavy duty analysis, or even Captain Obvious, as this one's texted. Captain Obvious over here, 650. Canucks are thin at center. And a lot of Pettersson still has an impressed text coming in here, Reach. 30 seconds left here.
Yeah, Pettersson, I don't know. The puck looks like a hand grenade on his stick tonight. He has not looked very sharp. He has not looked engaged. He's had a couple of questionable defensive moments as well, which is not really what you want to see from Pettersson, who's going to have to take on tougher minutes this year. Not been a game that gives you confidence in bounce-back Pettersson, but it is a preseason game after all, so take with that what you will.
He's Dan Riccio, back on Monday on Canuck Central at 4 o'clock. I'm Vic Nazar, back on the postgame show with Satyar Shah. Coming up after the conclusion of the third period, 2-1 Oilers over the Canucks. Brendan Batchelor, Randeep Janda on the way here on Canuck Central at the intermission on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Alpine News News Network is here live with one of our superheroes.
People sometimes ask, sure, you can consolidate people's debts using telekinesis, but what else can you do? As if changing lives isn't enough. Well, I can also use my power to make it rain hot dogs. It's still not as cool as consolidating debts into one easy payment, though.
Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
I'm standing with you for Canada. Hi there, this is Cynthia Dale. I've played many roles, but the small role I'm playing now, buying Canadian products, supporting Canadian businesses, protecting Canadian jobs. I've never been prouder of a role in my life. Shop as if your country depends on it. Keep your money in Canada for Canada.
Seeker. If you haven't downloaded the Seeker app yet, what are you waiting for?
SEEKR. Seeker.
Seeker now works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Take your favorite stations, podcasts, and playlists on the road right from your dashboard. It's seamless, safe, and built for wherever you're headed. Plus, push notifications are here. Get alerts for new content, contests, and updates from the shows and stations you love. Seeker. Your audio, your way. Download it now.
Let's do this. Mondays on City TV.
Rex, back to work.
This season on Hudson and Rex.
You up for it?
Rex has new cases to solve.
What do you got there?
And a new partner to solve them with.
So you're the new guy. I didn't think you'd figure it out.
And they're taking crime fighting.
I think you underestimated my partner.
To the next level.
Rex is on the job.
It's action.
She's dangerous.
Adventure.
Go get help.
And a whole lot of fun.
Nice work, partner.
Hudson and Rex. All new Mondays at 8 on City TV. Or stream it on City TV Plus.
The BC Construction Safety Alliance is always making safety simpler. NCSO and NHSA Connect is a valuable platform designed for both new applicants and designation holders. Connect with BCCSA each month to enhance your knowledge and skills and expand your professional network. In each Connect session, BCCSA will provide tailored advice and support while discussing best practices, latest trends, and new developments that impact health and safety in the construction industry. Start today. Click programs at bccsa.ca.
Hi, I'm Mitzi from Neighbors Restaurant and Pizza House. We've been a proud Vancouver family restaurant for over 40 years, and now in our new location, we offer even more. Along with our delicious Greek specialties, pastas, and steaks, we have some of Vancouver's best pizza. We hear it all the time. An old family recipe from Papa George that is sure to put a smile on your face. At Neighbors, we like to think we have something for everyone. Check out our Instagram stories and see our amazing food for yourself. Come on by and say hi.
Hockey season's here, and when it comes to performance, only the best make the cut. Just like on the ice, job site power starts with precision. Meet the brand new Kubota SVL 75-3. Compact, tough, and built to win. Need pro-level turf control? Kubota zero-turn mowers bring serious speed and a flawless finish. From heavy lifts to lawn shifts, Kubota gets it done. And right now, lock in 2025 pricing before the buzzer sounds. Visit one of DLE Avenue's 7 BC locations or head to DLEAMC.com today.
Can you feel it? Yep, the new hockey season is here. Upgrade your gear this back-to-hockey season with Sports Excellence and check out their exclusive CCM lineup of products, including the 2025 Jet Speed Extra SE skates, sticks, and protective gear. Get yours now at Big League Sports Excellence, your one-stop shop in Vancouver for everything CCM. 2151 Burrard in Kitsilano, or shop online at sportsexcellence.com. Sports Excellence, here to grow your game.
Hey, this is Thatcher Demko.
CC with a one-timer. Good save by Demko down low. Rebound chance for Evander Kane. Demko stopped that, too.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back inside Rogers Arena. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Jando with you. The Oilers lead the Canucks 2-1 after 2 as we get set to go to the third period. Make sure to stay tuned after the game for the Canucks Central post-game show. Satyar Shah and Bick Nazar will take your calls and texts right here on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. But the big news for the Vancouver Canucks going into this third period is that defenseman Elias Pettersson has not returned to the bench for the start of the third after taking a heavy hit from Vasily Podkolzin in the second period.
And it happened on an aggressive forecheck by the Edmonton Oilers. It was Mangiapane and Podkolzin going into the corner, and the shoulder of Podkolzin hit the chin of Elias Pettersson. Looked a little groggy after the play, ended up walking down the tunnel, and as you mentioned it, not currently on the bench for the Vancouver Canucks. We don't have an update, but obviously an area of concern for this team. He's played well in the preseason. Seems to like that he was going to feature next week as well, so you certainly have to keep an eye on his situation, and hopefully he's not hurt.
We're underway in the third period. Canucks in blue going from right to left. The Oilers in white skating from left to right. As Edmonton wins the faceoff, and Darnell Nurse gets a long shot quickly off the rush in on Thatcher Demko, who made the save and held on. And now Elias Pettersson has come out later than all his teammates, but he's back on the bench.
That is great news for the Vancouver Canucks, not only in the short term because you can get a six-man rotation going again, but also just to have a healthy Elias Pettersson. You know he's going to engage physically, but you want him healthy heading into the season.
Oilers hold in. Here's Mangiapane driving the front of that. Made a move around Demko off the right wing. Looked like he was going to have the whole net to shoot it into, but Marcus Pettersson recovered to throw him off. And he never tested Demko. Here's Nurse, left wing to the Vancouver line. Heavy shot right on. Gloved and held by the Canuck goaltender. 31 seconds into the third. Edmonton leads Vancouver 2-1.
Mangiapane, who signed in the offseason, last year he played with Washington, has basically the forehand side wide open, just had to elevate a little bit, but Marcus Pettersson does a great job of just chopping towards the stick of Mangiapane, throwing him off rhythm, and he couldn't get the shot off.
Pettersson and McDavid to take the draw to the right of Demko in the Vancouver zone. And McDavid wins it to Trent Frederick. Back to Bouchard, then for Matthias Ekholm with a one-timer that Demko steered wide of the net. Hughes far corner. Fights it up the boards for Brock Besser, who flips it to center. Jake DeBrusk after it. Hooks it past Evan Bouchard. DeBrusk driving the middle, trying to get it to the goal, and he did get a whack at it right as it rolled to the top of the crease, but Pickard was there to grab it with his glove hand.
And I like that play from Jake DeBrusk. He's very active in the neutral zone, chases down Evan Bouchard, chips the puck past him, and nearly gets to the end of it as Pickard makes the save. But with DeBrusk, one of the areas he wanted to focus on this year was play with more speed, whether the puck is on his stick or he's chasing it down. He exhibited that speed there.
Face-off left circle, won by Elias Pettersson. Back to Quinn Hughes, tried a shot. It was blocked from close range by Frederick, and McDavid skates away with it up the right wing. Connor McDavid into the Vancouver zone, left wing for Ekholm up in the rush, went to shoot, but DeBrusk on the back check made a great play to lift his stick, and it rolled harmlessly wide of the net. Quinn Hughes loses the puck to Draisaitl. He'll pass right wing to Bouchard, then for McDavid with a one-timer right along the goal line. Held out by Demko off the left pad. And Bouchard holds in. He'll flip it back behind the Vancouver net. Hronek with it. Funnels it up the near boards. Bouchard sneaks past Besser down the wall, but then is dispossessed by Hughes, who leaves for Elias Pettersson, and the Canucks can break out to center. Pettersson for Hronek in his own zone, and now for Hughes left wing. Into the Oiler end. Protecting the puck from Matt Savoy. Hughes tried a centering pass below the goal line that was broken up. And Adam Henrique carries the other way. On the left wing, try to pass to the middle, tipped away by Tom Wielander to the corner. And then he'll win a battle down low to get it to Quinn Hughes near side. Hughes pinned to the boards by Savoy. Is tying it up along the wall. Philp and Hedl are both in there trying to control the puck and get it loose, and it comes free to Adam Henrique. Back to the line for Ty Emberson. Out to the left circle for Brett Kulak with a wrist shot right on that Demko stops off his chest and holds on with the glove for the whistle. 2:15 into the third. It's Edmonton 2 and Vancouver 1 in the preseason finale tonight at Rogers Arena.
Well, one of the things you watch out for in the preseason, especially with young defensemen, is how are they boxing out? How are they, developing body position? And I think Tom Wielander with a good job there to box out Noah Philp, but there was an excellent chance for Edmonton coming back in transition as well, and Wielander gets his stick right in the way, disrupts, breaks up a play. So little plays like that. Are you finding confidence in your defensive game? And Wielander here in the third period, 2 plays to make note of.
Elias Pettersson is back onto the ice in the defensive zone. He gets the puck off a face-off, clearing it high off the glass and out to center. So good news for the Canucks that he has not just returned to the bench, but is back out there playing a shift as well. Darnell Nurse into the Vancouver zone. High slot with a wrist shot right on. Stopped by Demko, and then he smothers the rebound as well.
And the Oilers getting plenty of looks here early on. They're up to 21 shots on goal. But Elias Pettersson, it's good to see him back on the ice there as well. And anytime you get hit like that, you wonder about, okay, can you engage physically? But to see him back on the ice, obviously he's been able to talk to the trainers and get about 9 minutes of ice time tonight as well, and 2 hits, and I think a couple of them are impact hits, and that's the style he's going to play. He's got to get used to this physical brand of hockey. You're going to be a target as well when you have the puck in your own zone.
Oilers win the draw. Nurse holds into the line under pressure from Sherwood, but then gave it away in the slot. Tom Wielander on the near boards couldn't clear. Comes down low to Isaac Howard into the slot for David Tomaszek, who fanned on a one-time chance. And Elias Pettersson on the end boards tried to clear, gave it away to Kapanen. Back to Nurse. A one-timer is stopped by Demko. And Elias Pettersson on his second attempt makes no mistake, clearing it into the Oilers zone. Keeper Sherwood, first to it on the forecheck right corner. Took a cross-check from Nurse. It broke his stick, then Nurse mugs him away from the puck. The play's allowed to continue. Drew O'Connor, stick handling on the end boards, cuts up front, takes a tight angle wrist shot. Pickard made the save, and O'Connor gets it back. Into the slot for Sherwood. Right boards for Myers. Back to Sherwood, one-timer. It's blocked. Drew O'Connor's got it. High slot. He'll go left corner for Tyler Myers. Took a tough angle wrister. Pickard held it out through traffic, and Tomaszek lifts it high in the air and out to center. Sherwood to the red line, passes near boards for Marcus Pettersson. He'll dump it back in. Evan Bouchard, far corner. Pressure by Evander Kane and Braden Coots. Flipped it up the wall to the line, but not out. Tyler Myers holds in. To the right circle for Jonathan Lekermacki. Across the zone for Evander Kane, left circle. Pass was just in his skates. He couldn't take it cleanly, and Marcus Pettersson helps out, carrying it into the left corner. Lekermacki helps out in the battle, fights it free to Myers' right point. He'll funnel it back behind the net. Lekermacki takes it on his backhand. Out the near side of the line for Marcus Pettersson. Long shot tipped off the outside of the goal by Braden Coots from along the goal line. Coots back to the right point for Myers. Left side Marcus Pettersson. Into the slot for Braden Coots. Stick handling to the left wing boards. Protects it from Kapanen. Coots down the near wall for Evander Kane. Back to the top of the zone. Backhand feed to Myers' right point. He couldn't settle it cleanly and has to take it back out to center, where he's pressured by Podkolzin and lost it. Vasily Podkolzin, left wing to the Vancouver line, dumps it rink wide into the near corner. And Marcus Pettersson gets it with the Canucks changing, but that was a good offensive zone shift from Kane and the kids. Besser in on the forecheck, can't find the puck. Mangiapane springs Draisaitl left wing to the Vancouver line. Chased down by Hronek. Draisaitl gets it to McDavid, trying to pass to the back door for Mangiapane. Great play on the back check by Elias Pettersson to tip the pass to the corner. But the Canucks can't clear, and Mangiapane's got it for Bouchard with a one-timer. He wrung that off the pipe, but it stayed out. Now Ekholm from the line to Bouchard, top of the point. Drops to McDavid, darting down the near boards. Backhand pass into the slot, picked up by DeBrusk. It's a 2-on-1 chance for the Canucks. DeBrusk down the right wing. Elias Pettersson can't catch up. He's mugged by Ekholm away from the play. DeBrusk drove the goal, lost the handle on it. And Ekholm touches up. He's going to go off. Matthias Ekholm does not like this call, but away from the play, he absolutely mugged Elias Pettersson. Got the arm over his chest and hauled him down. And the Canucks are going to go to the power play. 5:14 into the third. Holding is the call against the veteran Oiler defenseman.
And Matthias Ekholm is not the fleetest of foot anymore at this age, and he just kind of pulls back on Pettersson, preventing a 2-on-1. And that's an easy penalty to call. But right before that, a great play by Elias Pettersson in the defensive zone to break up what could have been the insurance goal. And you're going to need more of that. When you're playing the Edmonton Oilers, you know how high-powered of an offense they are. They're going to take chances, and if Vancouver wants to play aggressive, you're going to need the forwards to come back that way to break up plays. And Elias Pettersson did an excellent job to the right of Thatcher Demko to break up that play.
Canucks to their second power play of the game. They're 0 for 1, and they've got a chance to tie it here. Hybrid unit here. It's Hedl, Lekermacki, Garland, Hronek, and Hughes on the ice on the power play. Oilers won the faceoff, but Garland wins it behind the net for Hedl in the right wing corner. Hedl up the far boards, tried a centering pass, tip to the line for Philip Hronek. Hronek to the top of the left circle, down low to Garland on the goal line, side of the net, back to Hronek on the half boards, now to Hughes at the point, again to Hronek, fakes the slap shot, goes to Hughes, right circle, back to Hronek, one-timer, and Pickard sliding to his right, made the save off the pad. The rebound is cleared all the way down the ice by Noah Philp, and the Canucks will try again. Quinn Hughes at his own line, right wing for Garland. Fights it past Nugent Hopkins into the Oilers zone. He's pushed to the boards by Nurse, but got it free for Hughes. To the left circle, Lekermacki, he scores! Jonathan Lekermacki has his second of the night. Both goals, one-timers from the left circle. And it's a 2-2 game before the 6-minute mark of the third period.
No hesitation from Lecker-Mackey, but this is Connor Garland who makes this play. Slithers away from Darnell Nurse on the right-hand side after the zone entry. Makes an excellent play to further the puck as Quinn Hughes sets up Lecker-Mackey and tees it up for him. And the one-timer makes it a 2-2 game, but Connor Garland does an excellent job to extend the play, get the skilled players the puck, and they do the rest.
Lecker-Mackey's third of the preseason and second of the night comes on the power play at 5:58 of the third period to tie the game at 2. The time of the goal is powered by Lordco Auto Parts. Shop thousands of parts, truck accessories, and tools at lordco.com. Canucks dump it into the Oilers zone again. Elias Pettersson and Matthias Ekholm in a battle on the far boards again. As McDavid brings it to the Vancouver line, trying to drop pass for Matthias Ekholm, but it's offside. And the faceoff will come out into neutral ice when we return. 6:18 elapsed in the third. It's a 2-2 game. The Canucks and the Oilers on Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The engagement rings are out in the open at Spence.
You just pick them up.
Try them on.
Look at the price tag.
And smile. You never have to act like Oliver Twist, asking for another bowl of porridge.
Please, sir, can I see that one, please?
You will never experience a moment like that at Spence Diamonds.
You'll try on hundreds of designer prototypes.
From all the world's top designers. You choose your ring.
And then we make it for you.
You get a much better ring.
And a much better price.
Spence. Located in Vancouver and Langley.
Advertising where your customers are listening is now within reach. Introducing Ad Manager, the ad buying platform designed for businesses of all sizes. No ad buying experience required. Get your message on air with professionally produced ads at no extra cost. Stand out with premium radio placement that connects your business to trusted Rogers Sports and Media audiences. We'll help you get started with up to $500 off your next campaign. Elevate your business today. Visit grow.rogersportsandmedia.com.
I decide where our company advertises. We do social media and radio. It's been proven, and I've seen it myself, customers will respond better to your digital advertising if they already know you and like you because of your radio advertising. They'll think of you first and search for you by name. You won't be just another company in a category. Include radio in your advertising plan. Radio adds the kick that makes customers want to click.
Hi, this is Patrick Demko, and you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet 650.
You're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network. Own your home. Alpine Credits can get your loan approved. Alpine Credits homeowners get approved. Visit alpinecredits.ca. 6:18 gone in the third period. Canucks and Oilers tied at 2. Jonathan Lecker-Mackey with both goals for Vancouver and even strength marker of the first, a power play goal moments ago. As the Oilers win a face-off and carry into the Vancouver zone to our right, Evan Bouchard tried a shot that was blocked. And it comes to Leon Draisaitl left wing, threw it to the net from a tough angle. It rolled through the crease and out the near side. Bouchard back to Trent Frederick. His shot was blocked by Elias Pettersson. It buckled him. He's back to his feet now, though, and McDavid's got it right corner. Connor McDavid, top of the zone. Evan Bouchard, left circle. Trying to spin around and move away from Besser. Didn't complete it, but keeps the puck and passes it across the zone for McDavid, who just held in right point. Tried to force a pass through the slot that's broken up by Tyler Myers. And the Canuck defenseman lifts it left wing to center, where Brock Besser's after it on the boards. Tried to dump it in. It deflected off Ekholm right to Jake DeBrusk, and he bats it deep into the corner. Chase Bouchard down below the goal line, but Ekholm fights it loose. Left wing to center for Trent Frederick. Now for Connor McDavid in the center ice circle. Oilers are changing. He'll leave in his own zone for Ty Emberson. Now for Evan Bouchard. For the Oilers. Threw it up the glass near side. Emberson fights it loose to Adam Henrique. Was poke checked by Hughes, and Kiefer Sherwood's back to center. Dumping it into the Oilers zone, allowing Teddy Bluger to get in after Brett Kulak on the forecheck. Bluger pins Kulak to the inboards. Drew O'Connor in to try and pry it loose. Adam Henrique. And Ty Emberson in the vicinity as well, as is Kiefer Sherwood. Puck still caught up. Left corner. Sherwood was knocked down by Philp, but it comes loose to Hughes at the line. Cutting to the high slot. Richard right on. Stopped by Picker. There was a rebound, and Wielander gets it left wing for Hughes again. The Canuck captain dancing in the middle of the ice. Passes left side, Vilander fend on a one-timer, and O'Connor's got it on the end wall. Centering pass to Sherwood in the slot. He couldn't take it cleanly. And then is pushed off the puck by Matt Savoy, who's going to chase down a loose puck. Partial break. Left wing into the Vancouver zone. Right in on Demko, who stuck with him and made the save. And Savoy and Hughes battle for the puck behind the net. Angle was a little bit too tough for Savoy by the time he cut in on goal, and Demko had the advantage there, but was very patient and made a good save. Quinn Hughes for Philip Hronek. Try to pass to center, intended for Evander Kane, broken up by Troy Stetcher. Now here's Tomaszek. Back across the Canuck line on right wing. Into the boards by Hronek. Comes down low in the zone for Isaac Howard. Howard right corner, centering feed, bounced off the skate of Hronek. In front for Kapanen, tried to scoop it back to the near side for Tomaszek, but the pass didn't get through, and Hronek under pressure clears it down the ice. Slow roller, not heavy enough for icing, and Darnell Nurse takes it behind his own net. 9 minutes gone, third period. The Canucks and Oilers tied at 2 in the last preseason game before the start of the regular season for both teams next week. Philip Hronek back to the puck below his own goal line. Left near boards for Braden Coots. Got it middle of the ice for Jonathan Lekermacki. Here come the Canucks to center. Lekermacki with 2 tonight already. Dumps it across the Oiler line. Evander Kane's after Evan Bouchard on the forecheck. But Bouchard got it free far side for Matthias Ekholm. And he'll carry back to center. Now Ekholm leaves in his own zone for Bouchard. We'll take time with the puck. Trying to stretch pass to center. Ekholm tipped it in on Demko, who steers it loose to Marcus Pettersson on the near side. He'll fire it around far side for Arshdeep Bains. Bains couldn't handle the puck. Bouchard back in his own zone is chased down by Heedle on the forecheck. Bains in support as they try to dig it loose left corner. Comes to Nugent Hopkins. Arshdeep Bains all over the Oiler forward, but can't get the puck free, and Nugent Hopkins lifts it out to center for Mangiapane. Onto the left wing for Pod Colson. Dumps it in. Marcus Pettersson back to the puck, rimmed it around to the near corner. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins being bullied along the boards by Tyler Myers. Puck comes back to the line. Ty Emberson holds in, trying to center pass. Connor Garland broke it up, and he's away to center. Garland to the Oiler line on right wing. Protected the puck from Kulak, centering feed. Bounce to Arshdeep Bains. He ran off the post on a clean snapshot from the right circle. Now the Oilers are back up ice. Mangiapane left wing into the Canuck end. Tied up by Quinn Hughes on the back check. Connor Garland into support, battling with Pod Colson behind the goal. Gets it free up the boards by DeBrusk. He's hammered into the end wall by Mangiapane, but Garland's right back to his feet as DeBrusk winds to center, then is stripped of the puck by McDavid, who brought it back in offside across the Vancouver line, and the hit on Garland draws a penalty as it's called roughing. Mangiapane to the box, and the Canucks to the power play when we return. 9:17 left in the third. Vancouver and Edmonton are tied at 2, and you're listening to Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on Sportsnet 650 and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The engagement rings are out in the open at Spence.
You just pick them up.
Try them on.
Look at the price tag.
And smile. You never have to act like Oliver Twist, asking for another bowl of porridge.
Please, sir, can I see that one, please?
You will never experience a moment like that at Spence Diamonds.
You'll try on hundreds of designer prototypes.
From all the world's top designers. You choose your ring.
And then we make it for you.
You get a much better ring.
And a much better price.
Spence. Located in Vancouver and Langley. With City TV Plus, you can stream more of the shows you love from television's biggest brands.
We're going the distance on entertainment.
FX, HGTV, Bravo, Food Network, Discovery, ID, and more.
It's all killer, no filler.
There's a whole lot more drama, more true crime, more lifestyle, more reality.
Can I have the crazy pill that y'all took?
There's more to stream and more to love.
Oh my God, I love it.
Get more entertainment with City TV Plus. Start your free trial today at citytvplus.ca.
A lot of my life is revolving around improving my mental health. I'm always asking myself what my purpose is. So I find that when I donate plasma, it is something that you know is good. Someone else is getting what they need, and I feel like I'm getting what I need.
Canadian Blood Services. Experience what you get when you give. Book an appointment at blood.ca.
Bright, sunshiny day.
Hey, this is Connor Garland, and you're on the home of the Canucks. Sportsnet 650.
9:17 left in the third period tonight in Vancouver. The Canucks and Oilers are tied at 2. And Vancouver's off to the power play with Andrew Mangiapane in the box for roughing after a heavy hit on the forecheck on Connor Garland. It's Elias Pettersson, Evander Kane, Brock Besser, Jake DeBrusk, and Quinn Hughes out for the man advantage. And the faceoff will be in the Oilers zone to our left in the near circle. Draisaitl and McDavid out there as penalty killers, so the PP unit has to be aware of that. Could be interesting to see if Chris Knobloch wants to utilize them in this role once we get into the regular season, or whether he's just trying things out in the preseason. Canucks win the draw, and Quinn Hughes has it in the line. Hughes to the right circle. As Pettersson had the helmet knocked off his head away from the play by Leon Draisaitl. That's going to be an Oiler penalty. Demko to the bench for the extra attacker. Hughes gives the Oilers the puck. So Draisaitl will go off. And Elias Pettersson, who drew a penalty for Mattias Ekholm earlier in the third period, does it again, this time to Leon Draisaitl. It'll be a minute and 46-second 5-on-3 for the Canucks.
29 Edmonton has given a minor penalty for unsportsmanlike removing the opponent's helmet.
And there's really no logic to this one. This is a headlock that Rick Steiner would be proud of, where Leon Draisaitl, just trying to get through Elias Pettersson, basically wraps his arm around the head and rips off the helmet. This is, I know it's preseason, but that is not a smart penalty by the Edmonton Oilers superstar. That's just a frustration of you want to inflict pain or waste some time there for Elias Pettersson, so he has to pick up his helmet.
Same 5 skaters will stay on the ice for the Canucks for the lengthy 5-on-3 and a chance to retake the lead. 9:03 left in the third. It's a 2-2 game. The Canucks and the Oilers tonight at Rogers Arena. And Elias Pettersson wins the draw from Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to Quinn Hughes, top of the point. Hughes, right circle for Pettersson. Passes into the corner for DeBrusk. Behind the net to Besser, left wing side. Now for DeBrusk. In the right corner to Besser, left wing below the goal line. Now to Hughes, high slot, looking for a shooting lane. Defers to Pettersson. Again to Hughes. With a wrist shot, it's blocked off a stick to the near corner. But away for the play, Evander Kane tripped up Ty Emberson, preventing him from getting to the loose puck. That'll be a Vancouver penalty. And this will go from a 5-on-3 to a 4-on-3.
And the Oilers penalty kill did a good job of keeping in shape here, but not the same fluidity, not the same movement from the power play 5-on-3 as it was 5-on-4. And this is just Evander Kane's not going to get to the corner. Emberson's going to win the puck. And you take the tripping penalty here. I'd rather...
It's a dumb penalty, let's be honest.
It's not a good penalty at all. That's just a lack of effort penalty where you're going to lose that battle. Well, it's okay to go reset in your own zone if they dump it down the ice rather than negating the power play altogether and canceling it out from a 5-on-3 perspective.
Adam Foote elects to take his 30-second timeout.
Vancouver has used its 30-second timeout.
And so assistant coach Brett McLean has the whiteboard out. It'll be a defensive zone draw for the Canucks. 4-on-3 here for a minute and 20 seconds. Then Mangiapane will step out of the box. And it'll be 4-on-4 for 26 seconds, or excuse me, for 14 seconds. And then the Oilers will get a 26-second power play after that. Brendan Batchelor and Randeep Janda with you tonight from Rogers Arena. Satyar Shah and Dan Riccio brought you the pregame show. Reach has been at the intermissions with Bick Nazar, and Sat and Bick will be back for the Canucks Central postgame show. Fast Eddie Gregory is producing the broadcast from our Sportsnet 650 headquarters. Josh Elliott Wolf is with us here in the booth at Rogers Arena, doing an excellent job as always. Cam Barra is the executive producer of Canucks Hockey and our fearless leader. It takes a cast of thousands to bring you the action right here along the Sportsnet Radio Network, and we're almost ready for the start of the regular season on Thursday night when the Canucks host the Calgary Flames in their home opener. Canucks have it off the faceoff in their own zone. 4-on-3 power play, looking to take the lead. Here's Elias Pettersson, left wing into the Edmonton zone, forced wide by Evan Bouchard. He plays it around to the right side for Jake DeBrusk. DeBrusk with a saucer pass to the point. It was over the stick of Quinn Hughes, and he's got to go back to center. Hughes makes a quick move away from Adam Henrique, back in across the Oiler line. Hughes down the left wing, drops it back to Besser, covering top of the point. Now to Hughes, left circle. Passes right wing for Elias Pettersson. To Hughes, high slot, left wing. Besser, one-timer, right on, stop by Pickard. DeBrusk got the rebound. Pickard held that out, too, and the Oilers clear it all the way back down the ice.
And an excellent opportunity for DeBrusk. He scored so many goals like that last year, got body position, just couldn't beat Pickard.
Here's Pettersson again, left wing across the Oiler line, goes rink wide, right boards for Besser. To Elias Pettersson in the corner, back to Quinn Hughes, top of the right circle. Drops to Pettersson, and again for Hughes, now at the left wing. Hughes fanned on a centering pass, but keeps the puck, spins away from Nugent-Hopkins. 15 seconds left in the Canuck power play. Hughes. Down low to Besser. Back to Hughes. Saucer pass to Elias Pettersson. Right circle. Settles. Shoots. He fired it high and wide. Past the glove side of Pickard. And Hughes holds in left point. Mangiapane's out of the box. It's 4-on-4 as Besser tees up a one-timer high slot, but missed the net. Hughes on the near side is battled off the puck by Mangiapane, and Nugent Hopkins has it. He'll carry to center. For Nurse. Now for Mangiapane. Cutting through the high slot. Drops to Nugent Hopkins. Threw a pass to the back door. Mangiapane couldn't get it. Quinn Hughes is up with the puck as Draisaitl's out of the box, and now the Oilers are on the power play. So Hughes dumps it into his own zone for Hronek, who hammers it around the boards. For Connor Garland off the bench, he'll take his time holding onto the puck and flip it deep into the Oilers zone. The penalty kill is brought to you by Able Auctions. Closing your business? Email sales@ableauctions.ca. That's sales@ableauctions.ca. And Evander Kane out of the box now, so that does it for the penalty kill. But here's McDavid to the Vancouver line, trying to pass left wing, intended for Isaac Howard, but the Canucks clear to center. And Connor Garland steals the puck from Howard to the Oiler line. He'll dump it behind the Edmonton net. Cal Pickard out of the goal to handle. Near corner for Evan Bouchard. Pushed to the boards by Evander Kane. Got it ahead to Leon Draisaitl. Had his pocket picked by Braden Coots on the back check. Then Draisaitl gave Coots a bit of a cross check away from the play as McDavid dumps it in behind the Vancouver net. Bouchard activates from the right point. Marcus Pettersson couldn't clear it. Rolls to the top of the crease. And Tyler Myers does a good job to box out Leon Draisaitl, allowing Demko to cover the puck for the whistle. 6:02 left in the third. The power plays are now all finished, and it's still 2-2 between the Canucks and the Oilers.
A couple of great looks for the Canucks on that power play where Brock Besser gets the shot off from the left-hand side, and then Jake DeBrusk gets a chance in tight, and it's a left pad save by Cal Pickard. And the stars keep on coming out tonight. We talked about Thomas Mueller before. Klay Thompson, NBA superstar, is here as well.
With the Dallas Mavericks, who are holding their training camp this week at SFU. So Thomas Mueller, Klay Thompson, both in the house to take in this Canuck Oiler preseason tilt tonight. And we knew it was going to be star-studded on the ice with the veteran lineups of both teams dressed. We weren't expecting it to be even more star-studded in the stands tonight.
It's a great week to be a sports fan in the city. There's a lot of action going on. Also, cricket tournament next week at BC Place.
Absolutely. Philip Hronek with it behind his own goal. Goes near side for Elias Pettersson. Passes left wing to center for Teddy Bluger, who tips it in deep. Cal Pickard out of his goal. Cleared it near side for Ty Emberson. Ahead for Matt Savoy. He tried to center for David Tomashek, but the pass didn't get through, and Quinn Hughes has it in his own zone. 5:15 left in the third. Canucks and Oilers are tied at 2 in the preseason finale. Braden Coots in on the forecheck. Couldn't get to the puck because Cal Pickard got in his way. No! And the Oilers dump it back into the Vancouver end. Philp on the forecheck, tried a centering pass. Great play by Coots on the back check. Adam Henrique would have been wide open in the slot, but Coots got in the passing lane and tipped it to the corner as the Oilers continue to pressure deep in the Vancouver end. Stetcher in the right wing corner, had the puck knocked off his stick. Evander Kane's after it far side, and he'll carry right wing to center. Kane to the Oiler line, dumps it in, skates onto into the corner, tried a centering pass. That was blocked by Kasperi Kapanen on the back check, and Henrique lifts it off the glass and out. Myers, D-to-D to Marcus Pettersson on the near boards, dumps it back into the Oilers zone. Philip Hedl after it on the forecheck. Couldn't steal the puck from Stetcher or Nurse, and now McDavid gives it away in the slot. Hedl nearly was able to cut back to the net, but an Oilers stick knocked the puck away, and it comes to Tyler Myers at his own line. Myers, left wing for Marcus Pettersson. Clears it behind the Oiler net, met by Draisaitl far side. He lost it to Garland, driving the goal. Deeks to the backhand as he got into the slot around Bouchard, and Pickard made the save. Now Marcus Pettersson left point, right side for Myers. Down the boards for Connor Garland, threw it to the goal. Pickard made the save, rebound again, rolls to the corner. Hedl gets it to Garland. His centering pass was intended for Baines in the slot, but tipped off an Oilers stick and back to center ice.
But I'll tell you what, Connor Garland is feeling it tonight. Playmaking, second efforts, everything, he's doing it.
Here's McDavid at his own line, turning back up ice with speed. Was poke checked by Myers as he tried to gain the Vancouver blue line, and Garland throws it up the left wing. Archie Baines after it. Couldn't get to the puck as Trent Frederick knocked it away. Now here's Draisaitl right wing with speed into the Vancouver zone. Forced wide by Pettersson and Hughes. He gets it back. High slot for Emberson with a shot that was tipped off the stick of DeBrusk in on net. Took the velocity off it, and Demko made the save. 3:24 left in the third. The Canucks and the Oilers are tied at 2. We'll have the conclusion of tonight's preseason game when we return on Alpine Credits Canucks Hockey on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
There are millions of square kilometers without coverage across Canada. Introducing Rogers Satellite, a new satellite-to-mobile texting service that connects your phone in areas without cell service. Now you have the power to go farther and still get texts from Mom. And now anyone on any provider can try it for free. When it comes to coverage, the sky's the limit. Sign up at rogers.com/satellite. Limitations apply. Rogers, we got you.
Hey, it's Ray Ferraro. Playing 18 years in the NHL took a toll on my knees and ankles. I knew that to stay healthy, I had to keep moving. Kintec not only looked at my feet, but also at the way that I move. They created solutions designed for me. Now I'm staying healthy and active, doing the things I love. If pain is stopping you from moving, Kintec's footwear and orthotics working together will get you back on track. Check them out at kintec.net.
Breaking story from Alpine News Network. Ron is a teacher helping bright minds, but this time he needed help. Alpine Credit sent a cosmic superhero with a debt consolidation loan. She conjured a magic book, Debt Consolidation 101. Lesson 1, consolidate debt into one low monthly payment. Lesson 2, nothing. It's a short book. Own your home? Need a loan? Alpine Credits can help.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Hey, this is Connor Garland.
It's 4-0 Canucks with 6:41 left in the second.
And you're on the home of the Canucks, Sportsnet Radio Network.
3:24 remaining in the third period tonight at Rogers Arena. The Canucks and the Oilers are tied at 2, and the player of the game is brought to you by Waypoint Insurance. When life hits, Waypoint Insurance is always the right call. Business, home, auto, benefits, and wealth. They have you covered. And who else but Jonathan Leckermacky with both Vancouver goals? He's our player of the game tonight.
2 goals, and he's looked really good tonight in 13 minutes and 38 seconds of ice time. He's got 3 shots on goal, so just a strong game, and both goal scorers goal. No hesitation on either of those shots.
Both one-time slap shots from the left circle. As the Canucks carry into the Oilers zone to our left, Kiefer Sherwood dumps it to the end boards for Teddy Bluger. They'll rim it around to the right corner. Hronek pinches it from the line, tried a centering pass. Emerson blocked it, came to Sherwood in the slot. Passes left point for Quinn Hughes. Back to the right side for Hronek. Long shot, got through on Pickard. Bounced high in the air. Did that catch the goalpost too, maybe? Pickard didn't know where it was as it floated up in the air, ended up behind the net. Now Hronek's got it again, right point, tried to go D to D, but the pass was out of Hughes' reach, and Mangiapane carries right wing to the Vancouver line and dumps it in. Hughes got in his way, awfully close to interference. The officials don't whistle it, though, and Kiefer Sherwood's able to clear to center for the Canucks. 2:35 left in the third. Vancouver and Edmonton tied at 2 goals apiece. Troy Stecher set it up the near side. Isaac Howard gave it away to Marcus Pettersson. Canucks dump it back in. Nurse ahead for Kasperi Kapanen, far boards. Elias Pettersson broke it up, got it loose to Jake DeBrusk, who dumps it back deep into the Oilers zone. Besser after Nurse on the forecheck, couldn't find the puck. Stetcher's able to clear with the help of Kapanen. Tyler Myers is chased back to his own line by Isaac Howard. Myers on the end boards, flips it right wing to center for Arshdeep Bains. Bains in the center ice circle. Quick pass ahead for Elias Pettersson. Down the right wing. Pettersson makes a stutter step and a move to the slot. He got a wrister away, but elevated it over the crossbar. Marcus Pettersson with it. To the right corner for Arshdeep Bains. Spinning away from Stecher. Tried a centering pass. It was out of Besser's reach and rolls back to center, where Marcus Pettersson leaves for Philip Hedl. Here's Hedl with speed. Left wing to the Oiler line. Lost the puck at his skates. Turned it over, and Noah Philp dumps it back into the Vancouver zone. Philip Hronek near corner. Leaves for Hughes. Pressured by Henry. Got it up the boards for Bains. He flips it out to center. And Bouchard leaves at his own line for Matthias Ekholm. Back to Evan Bouchard in the defensive zone. 1:20 left in the third period. Canucks and Oilers tied at 2. Savoy left wing to the Vancouver line. Dumps it behind the Canuck net. Quinn Hughes back to it. Fights it free for Philip Hedl. They'll bank it up the near side. Connor Garland able to tip it out to center, but couldn't control it. And Bouchard tried to pass near side. Savoy missed it. And Hedl leaves in his own end for Philip Hronek as we enter the final minute of the third period. And here come McDavid and Draisaitl over the boards. Hronek in his own zone. Fires a stretch pass to Evander Kane. Tips it deep into the Oiler, and Darnell Nurse back to it. Left it behind the goal for Troy Stecher. Stetcher skated out of the zone himself, made a move around Kane to the red line, is stood up by Sherwood. Stetcher kept his feet, but that looked like a heavy collision, and as a result, he cleared the puck all the way down the ice from the wrong side of the red line. So the Canucks will have an offensive zone draw with 36.7 seconds left in regulation time, and the game tied at 2.
You got to keep your head up when number 44 is on the ice, and Troy Stetcher looked like he might have a path to the middle of the ice where he can make the pass. Not on 44's watch. Sherwood steps up and enforces that really important icing with 36 seconds left to go.
Pettersson, Kane, Besser, Marcus Pettersson, and Tyler Myers on the ice. And Elias Pettersson wins the draw to Besser. Back to the line for Myers. Heavy drive. Missed. Past the stick side of Pickard, but Besser's got the rebound left circle. Back to Marcus Pettersson, left point. Tried to dump it down the boards. Blocked by Draisaitl. It rolled out of the zone. Then Tyler Myers played it back in. It's offside as Elias Pettersson and Evander Kane were caught deep. And now with 23 seconds left in the third period, we'll have a neutral zone faceoff.
And I'm sure there's going to be plenty of discussion on the post-game show about everything, but especially Elias Pettersson's game. I think he's played an excellent defensive game. He's been coming back, coming deep, helping out his defensemen. Offensively, when you're playing McDavid and Draisaitl, it's tough, but defensively, he's been solid.
Oilers win the draw, and McDavid's going to pick up speed from his own line with 15 seconds left in the third. Right wing for Draisaitl into the Vancouver zone. High slot Matthias Ekholm trying to shot, bravely blocked by Tyler Myers. Elias Pettersson gets it out to center, and Evan Bouchard is chased back into his own zone by Evander Kane. 3 seconds left now. McDavid at center. Left wing for Frederick with a shot right at the horn that Demko grabs with his glove. The third period is over. 60 minutes solves nothing, and overtime is coming up next.
And a great fight back by the Canucks. They were down 2-1. They took the lead in the first period, but Edmonton powered back. A power play goal by Lekermacki. And what I like about this game from the Vancouver Canucks is that they're skating hard. They're, in a lot of ways, treating this like a regular season game. There's a lot of effort. You mentioned the Tyler Myers shot block. There was one by Elias Pettersson here in the third period as well. They want this game. And you want to look at Quinn Hughes' ice time in this game? You think it matters to him? 26 minutes and 43 seconds, nearly half of this game played by the Vancouver Canucks captain. So certainly put in a good shift here across the board for the Canucks, but especially their captain.
Hughes had the primary assist on the Lekermacki power play goal in the third period that tied the game, and that's the reason we're here getting set for overtime. Hughes now with 5 points in the preseason. This is only his third game, so he's picking up right where he left off, really in the first half of last season before the injuries slowed his second half, obviously prevented him from going to the Four Nations face-off. And you know he's geared up for another tremendous season for this Vancouver Canucks. And the key for him is going to be to stay healthy, because if he can, then we see, even in a preseason game like this, the kind of impact he can have.
We've got three of the best players on the planet on the rink tonight, in the rink. And Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl have played okay, but Quinn Hughes has been the best skater as far as dazzling the crowd, creating, playmaker, the ability to really tilt the rink when he's got the puck and get players chasing after him. He's been the best skater, but that speaks to the level he can play. When he's healthy, he's a top 5 player in the NHL, in my opinion. And even though it's a preseason game, he shows that, even in the preseason, that he can absolutely change the game. And it's been fantastic to watch him here tonight, but hopefully, to your point, he can stay healthy, because when he can, he is worth the price of admission every single night.
So we head to 3-on-3 overtime. And this is going to be fun to start. It'll be Jake DeBrusk, Elias Pettersson, and Philip Hronek out against Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Evan Bouchard. Canucks in blue going from left to right. The Oilers in white skating from right to left. And Elias Pettersson wins the faceoff from Draisaitl. The Canucks have possession to start overtime. Hronek in his own zone drops to Jake DeBrusk. Nice pass for Elias Pettersson. Settled it off his skate at his own line. And doubles back as he didn't have momentum. Nice pass ahead for DeBrusk. Right wing into the Oilers zone. Throws on the brakes. Is chased back to center by McDavid. And leaves for Quinn Hughes, who changed quickly for Hronek and now has it behind his own net. Watched closely by McDavid. Hughes feeds ahead to Elias Pettersson. Skating through the neutral zone. Into the Oiler end. Pettersson down the left wing. Driving wide on Bouchard. Makes a move behind his back. And passes to the line for Besser. He's going to take it back to center and defer to Hughes on the near boards. Hughes watched by Draisaitl. Spins away from the check. Here come the Canucks 3-on-2. Draisaitl's caught behind the play. Hughes through the middle for Hedl off the bench. Cutting through the high slot. Passes right wing for Brock Besser. Back across the zone to Hughes left wing. Hughes into the slot. Back to Besser left circle with a high wrist shot. It missed the goal. And Hughes takes it back to center so Besser can go off on a change. Garland jumps out on the ice. Hedl and Hughes are out there already. Quinn Hughes from his own blue line for Connor Garland right wing. Back to Quinn Hughes. Spinning in the center ice circle. Drops to Garland. He's got speed. Right wing into the Oilers zone. Driving wide on McDavid. Cuts back to the wall. Passes across the zone to Hronek off the bench. Philip Hronek to Garland. High slot. Making a move to the goal. To the forehead. He scores! A beautiful deke by Connor Garland as he outweighted the outstretched pad of Calvin Pickard. And the Canucks wrap up the preseason with a thrilling 3-2 overtime win on home ice over the Edmonton Oilers.
90 seconds of keep away by the Vancouver Canucks. It was started by Elias Pettersson and Quinn Hughes. They change, and eventually Connor Garland picks up the puck on the left-hand side, goes past a tired Leon Draisaitl who had been out there for 90 seconds, and goes from left to right to beat Cal Pickard low on the ice. And that's just an excellent job by the Canucks, not taking unnecessary risks in overtime, waiting for their spot, tiring out that Edmonton Oilers trio, and they pick up the victory in the preseason finale, an impressive 3-2 win over the Edmonton Oilers.
The Canucks salute the home fans as they head off the ice down the tunnel, and the next time we'll see them will be on Thursday night inside this building when they open the regular season against the Calgary Flames. There are some decisions for management to make between now and then, but there were a number of players that showed well in this game tonight, not the least of which was Jonathan Lechermack.
Absolutely. 2 goals. 2 very strong shots, and he's got no hesitation on that. He's a player with a lot of confidence right now, and I think the last 2 games against Calgary and Edmonton, there's been some things to think about for this management team. In the Calgary game, you had that Abbotsford trio really light it up, whereas tonight, Braden Coots impressed, Lechermack impressed. So there will be decision time for the management team, but an excellent story heading into the regular season for the Vancouver Canucks.
Once again, the final score tonight at Rogers Arena, the Canucks 3 and the Oilers 2 in overtime. For Randeep Janda, this is Brendan Batchelor in